And I would like to welcome all of you to this engagement and thank you for being on time. According to the program, the provincial manager, Ms. Shirley Mlombo, who's sitting next to me, will explain the purpose of the inquiry. But just as an introduction, it relates to correspondence that the Human Rights Commission has sent to the municipality, complaints that have been lodged with the Human Rights Commission. We have requested for more information. We've requested for you to provide us with feedback, and very little, if any, feedback was received from the municipality. And that is basically the purpose of the meeting, but Ms. Mlombo will elaborate when we get to that item. Before I proceed further, I'm just going to allow for a round of introduction so that I just know who I'm speaking to, and we will do it clockwise. I've already indicated who I am, and we will move to the provincial manager, Ms. Shirley Mlombo.
Thank you, Commissioner. My name is Shirley Mlombo, the Provincial Manager for the Commission in the Northwest.
Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Emmanuel Conde. I'm the Senior Legal Officer here in the Northwest.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good afternoon. I am Siki Solipona. I work as a candidate for the Commission in Northwest.
Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Nelson Kesa. I am a Human Rights Officer in the Northwest Provincial Office. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. My name is Oarabile Khaurael. I'm the Advocacy and Research Officer in the Northwest Province. Thank you.
Good day, colleagues. My name is Olivia. I'm an assistant here in Northwest Provincial Office.
Good day. My name is Anne-Marie Lensing, and I'm a resident of JB Marks, which is true.
Good afternoon to the Commissioner and everybody in the room. My name is Mike Markey from JB Marks Technical Service Department. I'm responsible for the electricity business and the roads and stormwater business of the municipality. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioner, colleagues. Kenya Comments of the Municipal Manager TV Max Local Municipality. Thank you.
Afternoon, colleagues. Peace Mongkodi here from the Human Rights Commission. Thank you. Research Advisor to Commissioner Kosho.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Ma'am, is it Ms. Lensing? What is your surname?
Lensing,
yes. What is your job title? Sorry, I couldn't get that.
I'm one of the residents of JB Marks.
Oh, are you a complainant?
Yeah.
Oh, complainant. Okay. So I thought so. All right. All right. Let's then continue. I'm going to request Ms. Shirley Mlombo, the Provincial Manager, just to quickly explain the purpose of this inquiry.
Thank you, Commissioner. The purpose of the inquiry has been set out in the notice that has been sent to you. The Commission has had several complaints against your municipality, and as part of investigation of those complaints, we reached out to you for a response, but you did not respond. So these are extraordinary powers of the Commission, and the power to compel a response where it is not forthcoming. So this is basically the purpose of this these proceedings, to get a response from you to the complaints. And I must hasten to indicate, although the subpoena process relates to 3 complaints that remain unaddressed, the Commission has received many other complaints against your municipality, which form part of the provisional report, which was issued, I believe it was on the 26th of June. relating to various issues, sewer spillages in other areas in your municipality. We had given all the parties until today to comment on those complaints, because even in those complaints that form part of the provisional report, you did not respond to the allegations. So the non-responsiveness, it's a pattern which hinders the work of the commission, and importantly, it hinders redress of human rights violations within your jurisdiction. And of course, we hope these additional reports these additional complaints will also be consolidated into that report I've referred to, which is already in circulation. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Okay. There you have the purpose of the meeting. I think it's very important for me also, perhaps just to explain something else as well. I'm sure, MM, that when you address us and you provide us with your reasons for not responding to the correspondence from the commission, that we will have a better understanding, what your reasons were. But you must also understand that the commission, in terms of the act that regulates the commission and also the constitution, we have the obligation to secure redress for the people who bring complaints to us. And we can do that by also approaching a court of law and to litigate against the municipality, which you probably know has happened in this province on a number of occasions. But the Commission is also doing much more to ensure compliance and the implementation of its recommendations. We have been reporting to provincial legislatures in other provinces. We also have a very cordial working relationship with the National Council of Provinces Parliament. Just to mention one example, in the Free State Province, the National Council of Provinces visited the province. They requested the Human Rights Commission to present its findings and recommendations at a meeting with the municipality. About 3 months later, the MEC responsible for local government in the province was also given notice by the National Council of Provinces to come and report on the implementation of the Human Rights Commission's recommendations. So going forward, if we found that it's a trend that municipalities in specific provinces don't want to adhere to our recommendations, there are obviously a number of routes and avenues that we can follow to ensure compliance with our recommendations. And I want you just to keep that in the back of your head. This is a very, very serious engagement. If we don't get joy here today, we will probably also consider other avenues to ensure that the people out there, the people who are complaining, do get the redress that they deserve. So that's just for background purposes. And just just from my office point of view, there's also a letter that I signed and sent to you, MM, was it in November last year? And also just from my office, not from the Northwest office, but from my office, also no feedback was received from you, and I will discuss that towards the end of the meeting. I also see that in a very serious light. Okay, now to the formal procedures. Because this is a formal legislated subpoena hearing, I'm going to request the three of you, I assume all, is the complainant also going to make an input, Mr. Nkonde?
I suppose if she wants to make an input, she may also be sworn in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we just for clarity's sake, Ms. Lensing, are you going to make an input today, or are you just here to observe?
No, I'm just here to observe.
All right, no problem. Okay, then it will be expected then of the municipality to either take the oath or affirmation, so that we formalize these proceedings. We can start with you, MM. Which one do you prefer, the oath or affirmation?
I'll take the oath.
You take the oath, please stand. Okay. You can use the microphone, yes. For the record, please state your full names.
I am William Komotokumbe.
All right. Please repeat after me. Just raise your right hand. Yeah. I swear that the evidence I shall give
I swear that the evidence that I shall give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you. Are you also going to give testimony? You can stand, please. Thank you. For the record, please state your full names.
Michael Markey.
Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Yeah. Oh, oath or affirmation, sorry? Oath. Oh, also the oath, yes. Please repeat after me. I swear that the evidence I shall give
I swear that the evidence I shall give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much. All right. We have, as you've probably seen in the notice that was sent to you, letters, correspondence was sent to you as far back as April 2024. That correspondence was followed up with letters in December. There's correspondence that was sent to you again on the 21st of May, 27th of May, 18th of February, 19th of February, 26th of March this year. And the reason for us deciding on convening the subpoena hearing is because of your non-responsiveness. So I'm going to request Mr. Emmanuel Nkonde just to take you through the complaints and also refer to the correspondence that was sent to you, and also with specific reference to the municipality's non-responsiveness. And then we'll take a complaint per complaint, and then we will give you time to respond, and we will also put additional questions to you. Mr. Nkonde, over to you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. With this round of proceedings, Mr. Tsidiso Likoma will proceed to introduce the bill. So I'm saying with this round of the proceedings, Mr. Tsidiso will proceed to introduce the bill.
Before that, I was just reminded by Mr. Nkonde. I think the elephant in the room is that you have not been responsive to the Human Rights Commission. Letters were written to you on numerous occasions. I also indicated that my office also sent you a letter as 27th or 28th requesting for specific information, and you've just been quiet. Now, what concerns the Commission is, is there on the side of the municipality disrespect for the Human Rights Commission? Are we just simply being ignored? Don't you regard us as important enough for you to respond to our letters? Are there other challenges that the municipality is currently facing. But our view is, and for a very, very long time, we feel as the Commission that the municipality has been disrespecting the Commission. And if it wasn't for the provision in our Act that we had the powers to subpoena municipal managers and municipalities to appear before us, you would not have been here. There is this blatant disregard for the Commission, blatant disregard. Every now and then, letters and complaints are referred to you, and there's just no feedback whatsoever. So before I'm going to request Mr. Mkonde and the team just to address you on the specific complaints, I'm requesting that you address us on the reasons for undermining the Commission, disrespecting the Commission, and simply just ignoring the Commission. If you are not familiar with the role, responsibilities, the mandate of the Commission, we are more than willing to also provide you with that information. So I'm going to request you, Edmund, just to address us firstly on why you've been ignoring the Commission. Can I give you this?
Thank you, Honourable Commissioner. I will start off by acknowledging and actually acceding to the fact that as the municipality of not being, that is in no way or in any way trying to show disrespect or ignoring the Commission. Honourable Commissioner, what I did after getting this notice, I think it was hand delivered to the municipality and actually acknowledged sometime late in June. And I found it on top of my table. So I actually made follow-up because the understanding from the office was that we have the manager and the office of the municipal manager. There are other matters like correspondences that you would handle and will then sign it off. And it will be as good as that you have responded as the municipality. And I actually got a further briefing because I actually inquired that, but it's been my understanding that we've been responding and signing correspondences back to the Human Rights Commission. And as a matter of fact, I got a feedback that there was a meeting with the Human Rights Commission. I'm not sure who of the colleagues actually had an engagement with the manager in the office of the municipal manager. And I think there was a subsequent meeting again that was convened. So that was the understanding until I got now a subpoena to say, but the municipality is not being responsive. We've been writing responses, and look, I don't want to say that probably clearly haven't reached the Human Rights Commission. And if then that's the case, it says that if anything, the lapse then would be in the JB Marks local municipality side, and we have to take acknowledgement of that fact. And that is why we even came to the conclusion, I think it's as of last week or so, to say that let me just handle these communications myself together with the Human Rights Commission, because I mean, clearly now when it gets to a subpoena level, it's now really at an undesired level, if anything. So, Honourable Commissioner, I think going forward, any communication, it will be direct with me, and so that I am personally held accountable for making sure that we respond and we comply with all the requirements. What I noticed is that most communications went to the email address of the MM secretary at JB Marks, and it seems like that inbox is not being properly managed from what I'm seeing here. And some of the correspondences went to Kumbeke at JB Marks. That inbox has been giving me serious problems, and to a point where I even resorted to using my personal email for correspondences so that I can get them in real time and even on my phone. So hence I'm saying that imaging from here, I'll be sharing all my contacts with the relevant individuals and to make sure that we don't have any lapse as we move forward. And Honorable Councillor, in closing, we profusely apologize as a municipality. There is no in any way an act of disregard or undermining this commission. We fully understand the mandate of the commission and we fully respect the commission. Thank you.
Thank you, MM. What is the problem with this email address, Kumbe K? Yes. What's wrong with that email address?
Thank you. Most of the communications that come through that address, they seem to be bouncing. And I'm told from time to time that, but we've sent communication. And most of it, others would then say, no, but it bounces, it then returns back to us. So hence I even shared my personal email address to say that this one, I fully trust it. You send an email to it, then there's no problem. But in response, I'm not a technical person in terms of the IT. What I know is that most of the time I'm getting reports. Actually, I noticed it inside the office where people are saying that this inbox, it keeps returning the emails as we keep sending. So I just resorted to my personal email address. But it seems like it gets full quicker. So it seems like one has to play it every day, which then I don't really have that time to constantly delete or so I'm using the personal one.
You see, MM, what my problem is, and Mr. Mkhori and I have been visiting provinces and municipalities on a regular basis. The usage of a private email address is the first step to a dysfunctional municipality. We have seen many municipalities in a specific province using Gmail addresses because I don't know what the problem is with their official emails and with their websites and so on. I'm not sure if they can afford the service. But the reason why we also have a problem with using private personal email addresses is the residents, community members who want to report a complaint to a municipality. They don't have access to your private email address. They don't know where to send it to. There are municipalities who don't even have telecom lines. They don't. What means should the residents use to report any malfunction with regards to service delivery to the municipality if they don't have telecom lines, if they don't have official email addresses? So it is something you would have to deal with immediately, because from my point of view, I'm very uncomfortable when MMs start using private email addresses. Does it only apply to the Human Rights Commission and the Public Protector? What about community members? How do they access you? How do they do that if your email address is not operational? That is just, I don't want you to respond to that, but please deal with it. Now, who is dealing with these complaints? The correspondence that the provincial manager and her team have been sending to you. You said you thought it was being dealt with. Who's responding? Isn't it the responsibility of the municipal manager to write back to the Human Rights Commission, and even if someone else prepared the letter, sign the letter and take ownership and to take accountability? Who was tasked to respond to the correspondence of the Human Rights Commission? Why not? Why are you not the responsible person?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Commissioner. I'm ultimately the responsible person, Mr. Day. Like I said, that the responsibility to receive and communicate, as well as collecting and collating, or even consolidating all the responses. I've delegated it to the manager in the office of the municipal manager. And I can remember, I think I've signed 3 letters or response letters also. And hence I can't really fathom why is it that it seems like we have not responded at all. And hence I'm even making reference to engagements with the colleague or some of the colleagues, I'm not sure who, with the manager in the office of the municipal manager. So I acknowledge to say that there must be ultimate accountability. Hence, now of late, I then said, but now if now we are having a subpoena, I will personally handle the communications as well as the engagements or meetings to make sure that we don't have any lapses, because I can be coming here again as a repeat offender now on the same thing. So I have to going forward and engage the colleagues in my personal capacity. Thank you.
You see, we are, we are very concerned about this attitude. I take your explanation, but just to come with an apology to the commission and to the hearing today and say, well, it will not happen again. I'm very concerned about that, because it happened for almost 18 months. 18 months, all correspondence to JB Marks, with the exception of the first letter that we wrote to you, was simply ignored by the municipality. And it is just extremely concerning. Let us, yes, yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, I just wanted to really get clarity from the MM, because for us to be able to build going forward, it has to be on the basis of transparency and frankness. And I do have many difficulties with the submissions from the MM to say, to your knowledge, responses have been sent to the commission, and you were aware that you are coming to the commission today. Do you have any of those responses that you signed off to present to us as proof that they were prepared? It's just a matter of transmission to the commission?
I have 2 unsigned responses that we prepared. The ones that I had actually signed, I couldn't sign it afresh, really. It wouldn't be an act of honesty on my side. So I have 2 of the unsigned ones, and the ones that have been signed, we tried to look for them, but I requested for them to be made available, but no one could actually locate them. I even requested that if anything, we managed to send an email, can we retrieve it? Look, I won't beat about the bush. It doesn't even seem like they were transmitted to the Human Rights Commission, because we tried to look at the emails. The MM secretary, they sent emails, but we couldn't locate any.
Okay. Now, you've already indicated they were not transmitted. I was asking about the signed one. So, who was responsible for ensuring that those signed ones get to us?
Like I've said, the delegation was with the manager in the office of the municipal manager.
And what is the name of that official for the record?
That the Ronald Madisha.
Okay. So in preparation for these proceedings, you have established that he did not do what he was supposed to do. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say it's him per se, because look, I sign and then he then takes the documents away from my office, then ordinarily hand it over to the two secretaries that are on the other side. So I wouldn't say it's him or the secretaries on
Yeah.
record. I really can't.
I asked you who was responsible for ensuring the correspondence gets to us. And I asked about the official, and you gave me the title and the name of the official. Now I'm asking, since he did not do what he was required to do, has he been held accountable for that?
As of now or today, not yet.
Are there any plans to hold him accountable?
Yes, we are still investigating the matter as to why did the documents not reach the human rights. So there are plans in motion.
All right. Through you, Commissioner, I will request that because unfortunately those officials are not here, that on a date will determine, Commissioner, that we be provided with the unsigned letter, the signed letters that the MM says he signed, and that we receive a sworn affidavits from the officials that he says he gave the letters to, with reasons from them on why those letters were not transmitted to the commission. That is the second request. The third request, I will request that the MM provides a report on the consequence management measures is undertaken against officials who were supposed to transmit the signed letters to us. That is the first issue. Also, you referred to a person manning the address, MM secretary. Who's that person?
There are two secretaries, Mayor Evodia Abrams and Date Maleko.
Okay. On your own admission, you have said that you've established that the address or the mailbox is not properly being managed. Is that correct?
I said, I believe that, or should I say, I suspect that it was not being properly managed.
Okay.
I can't say that it's certain.
Okay. Have any consequence management measures being taken against those responsible for manning that inbox?
No.
Okay. Are there any plans to take consequence management steps against those officials manning the inbox?
We will check whether you mean the inbox, isn't it?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
remember they have a responsibility to properly manage, to ensure that correspondence gets to whoever it must get to. I'm assuming that's why they are placed there. Is that correct, MM? Yes.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, there are those measures that will be considered.
All right. I will once again then through you, Commissioner, request that the MM also provides a report on the consequence management measures he has taken against those two officials. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PM. So have you captured? We will provide you after this meeting with the decisions we have taken. But I must just remind you, MM, remember you are under oath. And if you are saying that you have considered consequence management, we take it that you are telling the truth. We take it that you are telling the truth. So I just want to remind you again, you and the gentleman sitting next to you, that both of you are under oath. And we are not taking these proceedings lightly. Not taking it lightly. How big is your staff component, your administrative staff component, MM, in your office?
No, we're not that big.
How many people?
think at most, including me, you have 5,
5.
including me. Yes.
And all these letters fell through the cracks. 5 people. If it was a big municipality with a few thousand employees, I would have understood it. 5 employees and it fell through the cracks. I'm really taking the testimony that you are giving with a pinch of salt. There was either blatant undermining of the commission, blatant disrespect for the commission, or an administrative malfunction. And with malfunction, I mean accountability, a lack of accountability from the municipal manager, a lack of supervision from the municipal manager. How is it possible? How many other letters from other Chapter 9 institutions did you miss? From MECs, from departments, national departments. How many other letters did you miss? Or was it just the Human Rights Commission? You're on oath now. Tell us the truth, Emin. Did you see the logo and you said, hey, these guys are just wasting my time?
No, that's not the case.
What happened? How many other letters did you miss? Public Protector, Gender Commission, provincial departments, or are you just responding to emails that have been sent to your private email address?
I can't say how many hasn't responded to the number. But such instances, I can't even say how many, but such instances would then occur and then we remedy it as soon as possible.
How do you remedy it?
No,
How do you find out about it? How do you find out that you've not responded to a letter?
sometimes, Honorable Commissioner, I'll be reminded to say that, but no, by the colleagues in the office to say there's this correspondence. In some instances, maybe they would have forgotten about it, or they would remind it, give it to me, and maybe I don't notice it and remind me to say, but we need to respond to this. So, like I said, Honorable Commissioner, that some of these letters we responded to. So it's not like until today we didn't see them. We saw and responded to them, and I think there's a request to say that they need to be brought forward before the Commission. Thank you.
I'm still very concerned about how you manage that office, Emin. Honestly, 18 months, no feedback, and if I liaise with other departments and they say that, hey, that JV Marks is not responding to our correspondence, I would understand why. You need to take control of that office, Emin. You need to take, at the end of the day, the buck stops with you. You need to take action there. Cannot continue like this. You simply cannot continue like this. And I'm not so sure if I must accept your apology now. 5 people, and you cannot respond to letters for more than 18 months. I don't believe that story. I'm sorry. Mr. Nkonde, if you can take us through the complaints, thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I will hand over to Mr. Likoma, who will take us through, Commissioner, through your permission, please.
Thank you, Commissioner. I will be going through the details of the complaints that we've received, dating back from 18 April 2024, and the steps that have been taken to address these complaints. We received a complaint on 18 April 2024 from Mr. Peter Stein. The Commission received a complaint which alleged that March 2023, transformers in about 18 to 20 farms in Ventersdorp have been damaged. He advised that the damage has resulted in the farms being without electricity and that these damages were reported to the municipality and no assistance was provided. And on the 3rd of December 2024, the Commission addressed an allegation letter to your office. requesting a response to the allegations made by 6 January 2025. And the copy is attached and marked Annex A on the bundle that is before you. When you did not respond to the letter by the 6th of January 2025 as requested, follow-up email correspondence was also sent to your office on 27 January 2025, requesting a response to the correspondence by 14 February 2025. Another follow-up correspondence was addressed to your office on 24 February 2025, and the copy is attached as Annex B. The Commission furtherly received a complaint from Mrs. Edith Malke. Sorry. Okay. You are therefore expected, based on the complaints that have been highlighted, that you are required to respond to the Commission correspondence as detailed above, and you will also be required to give any further evidence or information that may be helpful to the Commission to investigate the matters. Also, you will be required to produce all articles or documents that are in your possession or custody or under your control that may be necessary in connection with the complaint that I have highlighted. I'm not sure how we're going to run this process, Commissioner. Are we going to deal with the complaint first and then? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Just get the mic. All right, I think the specific complaint was sent to you when you were served with the subpoena notice. It's a complaint from Mr. Petrus Steyn. Page 3, yes. It's about he alleges that transformers in about 18 to 20 farms in the Ventersdorp town have been damaged, and he advised that the damage has resulted in the farms being without electricity and not being able to function properly for over a year. How do you respond to that allegation from the complainant?
Thank you, Honorable Commissioner and colleagues. Through you, Honorable Commissioner, I have a remark here who's the head of electricity services, he said. But what we can confirm is that, first and foremost, without deviating from the complaint, we are executing our mandate, Honorable Commissioner, in function of providing sustainable electricity to the communities of JPMA's local municipality. And the complaint here is not about electricity provision. Basically, it's about provision of transformers. So electricity as a function, we are functioning well. We don't have issues there. But zooming to the complaint, we've had numerous engagement with the Honorable State. He's actually a councillor in our municipality. So Honorable State, the communities or members of the public that we were able to assist, we procured, I think Remaki will confirm the numbers, but I think well over 90 transformers also as a municipality. So it doesn't say we are not or we are unable to procure transformers. We have procured, and to those that we are able to assist, and I'll explain why I'm saying those that we are able to assist, because there are those that we are not able to assist. Those that we are able to assist are those ratepayers who are promptly paying for their services and then complying with their obligation of paying for their services. We have replaced those transformers, and not only the farms. I think one would understand that we are in charge of 2 towns, and where we have farms, we have the urban area townships and villages. And all these transformers that I'm talking about, well over 90 transformers, they're being used in all those different areas to make sure that we provide electricity. Now, here's the challenge that we have with some of the farm dwelling community members who are even today failed to, should I say, settle their consumer accounts. And they are saying that they are disputing their accounts or their billings. But our submission to them was that, but it's fine, we understand that you are disputing, but that doesn't say that you must withhold the entire payment totally, and we are providing electricity But their decision was that instead of complying, they even took the municipality to the High Court and protesting and saying that they are not paying anything, but at the same time, they are expecting services to be provided to them, sustainably so. So it's a challenge, Honorable Commission. As a municipality, we are now owing as well, because we are expected to continuously provide services, and some committee members are not actually executing their part, that is paying. So the long and the short of it, from my side, is that we were very clear to say that those that are not complying or willing to work with the municipality, so far as settling their consumer accounts are concerned, we won't be able to assist with transformers because we have to buy these transformers. But like I requested, maybe further details Mr. Malke will provide, especially in the number of transformers and where we have actually installed them.
Before you respond, I'm just requesting to be excused for 1 minute. I just have to run to the ablution facility quickly. 1 minute, we're just stepping down for 1 minute. I'll be back just now. Right. Apologies for that. I'm back. I underestimated the time that we were going to speak. Right. We were still discussing the transformers. The MM is saying that they will not provide the transformers because the farmers are not paying for their services. When you address us, you are next to speak, sir. Just address us also on the outcome of the High Court case that the MM has referred to. I just want to understand what exactly is going on.
I don't think you have the knowledge.
Oh.
Raise the electricity.
Okay. All right, please do before we go to you then.
Okay, the matter is still, should I say, progressing with the High Court. So yeah, I think it's tariff things. That is the body that actually protested and they took the municipality to court when we requested them to settle their bill. So the matter is still with the High Court, but we are amenable to providing further documents if then requested or required by the Human Rights Commission.
When did they file papers? Was it this year, last year?
I think it was last year.
Why is it taking so long?
With the High Court.
In this province?
Over a year.
What? I'm from the only functional province, it seems. All right, please address us on the electricity issues.
Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner. Commissioner, I must acknowledge that at a certain point in time, I did receive communication from Councillor Steyn with regard to issues of shortages of transformers in the finance operation, particularly in the areas where the farmers were affected. But I must mention to the Commission that, Commissioner, at that time, we were experiencing a lot of transformers that we were losing in our area of operation because of a combination of a few factors. We, at that point in time, we were experiencing heavy adverse weathers. Many of our transformers were experiencing faults internally because of heavy lightning, and it is known in our region, Commissioner, that Ventersdorp is one of the areas that is experiencing a high level of lightning. So we experienced a lot of that. We lost many transformers due to heavy lightning, and it was happening around a period at one time. Some of the transformers we were losing because of there was again serious cases of transformer theft, and I know that myself and councillors were communicating more often around those days. But the problem maybe came around the rate at which we were replacing them, because I can tell you, Commissioner, it was when we were communicating that time, it was many transformers, and we do keep transformers in stock, but we can't keep levels that were up to the level that we were losing those transformers. So the challenge came from the rate at which we were replacing them, as we were getting faults or they were stolen. But I can confirm to the Commission to say, myself and Councillor Steve, we used to be communicating. You will give me a list of transformers according to priorities, and then we will be procuring and replacing. So if you look at the dates also, Commissioner, you will also appreciate that some of the dates were cutting across financial years. So as we were procuring on one financial year, those transformers will be installed, they will be depleted. We will be losing other transformers. It will be cutting across to the next financial year, where we again have to go through procurement processes for us to replace. So those delays, I think that was the concern from Councillor Stay on the time we took to replace them. But eventually, most of the transformers were replaced.
That is my question. Of the 18 to 20 farms, how many of those transformers have you replaced? Looks like the damage occurred in March 2023. It's more than 2 years later. How many transformers have you since replaced?
Okay, I don't want to lie under oath, Commissioner.
More or less, give me an
I
estimate.
don't want to lie, but like I'm saying, most of the issues that were raised by Councillor Stay, we would be responding, replacing them. The only thing that was a problem was the time we took to replace. So what I would rather appreciate from this commission was if I can be given an exercise, go back to the record and see from the complaint that we received, how many transformers we did replace. Then I can come back to the commission to say from the 18 transformers we received, so many were
Yeah, but help this hearing to go forward. Right? Just tell me, is it the majority of the transformers that they've been replaced, or is it just a few? Or just give me an indication, because I want, on the one hand, the is saying, no, we're not going to do anything for you because you're not paying for your services. You are saying that you've done it. You have actually replaced the transformers.
Commissioner, let me say, the majority of the transformers were replaced. But what is important from what the was saying was that we are also running a business. Within this electricity business is a business. We must also get value for money.
Yes.
So what we have realized along this process was to say there's many of these customers who are putting pressure on the municipality to replace their transformers, whereas they themselves, they are owing the municipality money. And you can understand, Commissioner, from where you are sitting to say the very same money that we use to procure these transformers for us to replace, that is money that you must get through revenue that you are generating from the very same customers that must pay. So what we did was, and we have learned this practice from other utilities like ESCOM. ESCOM is doing that to us. And it's something that is not publicized for everybody to can see, but they are doing it still. ESCOM is doing this. If you are reporting a complaint of a transformer failure in their area of operation, what they do is they would first check if that village or a settlement, are they up to date with their accounts. If they are not up to date with their accounts, ESCOM will take time to replace, because they will do replacements according to priorities. So that's what we are doing also, Commissioner, to say we will always prioritize customers who are either paying their municipality bills or who are at least engaging the municipality to come up with payment arrangements for us to get at least have an understanding of why are they not paying. So that is what we have been doing. But like I'm saying, in short, most of the transformers we have been replaced. Many of them that we have not yet replaced are issues where the customers' accounts are in question.
All right. Have you had this discussion with Councillor Steyn? Have you spoken to him and said, well, listen, we cannot replace all the transformers because we simply don't have adequate funds to replace the transformers because you are not paying for your services. Have you had this discussion with Councillor Steyn?
He's aware.
And what was his response?
Okay, Councillor Steyn does acknowledge that most of the customers are not paying. And we would even go to a stage where we would say, Councillor Steyn, we are coming up with a revenue enhancement program. We would want to visit all these farmers, engage them, and tell them of their accounts. But in most cases, again, that is, and this is one of the challenges that you're experiencing, not only with farmers, but with other businesses. Access to these areas is a problem. We have even went to a length where we wrote them letters to say, we want to access your properties, or help us to put your metering points at the boundaries for us to easily access them, so that we can deal with the account issues and make them understand to say the money that you need to pay, that is the very same money that we need to buy these transformers and other materials to run our business. So that discussions have unfolded, Commissioner.
All right, I'm going to request the Northwest office to put questions to you. They've listened to your initial comments. We can start with you and then move to you, Mr. Mkonde, and then finally to the provincial manager.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I've got a few questions that I would like to ask for clarity. You said you are in the process of repairing some of the damaged transformers, is that correct? When were you made aware of these damages?
Oh, sorry.
I thought you said it's a couple of questions.
I would prefer that you answer after the question I ask.
Okay. Now, thank you. I think the matter of transformers, I became aware of it, I think as far back as 2022, late 2023. And that's where, as a municipality, then we procured, I think 25 to 30, I'm not certain, through a deviation process because of the agency of that. So it was around late 2023 when Honorable Steyn brought the matter forward.
Okay. Follow-up question. The procurement process, when did it start?
Hence, I'm saying that we procured using a deviation. We procured immediately once we became aware. So I would say in a space of, I stand to be corrected, but I think it was about 2 weeks or so, because we had to deviate from the normal procurement processes to urgently have the transformers in.
All right, thank you. My other question is, are there still farms in Vendoso that remain without electricity for over a year?
I stand to be corrected, but I don't believe over a year. No, I don't believe that will be over a year. But again, through your Honorable Commissioner, the same notion should be, I think the same question should be asked in relation again to those who are defined for over a year, because it's that is another problem where we are saying, but like Mr. Mike has just said, that it's not a one-way street to say, but we demand a transformer, and it's as if we are non-responsive for over a year deliberately. So at the same time, we have people who are defiant and don't want to settle their accounts again. So I think we need to look at it from both sides.
Right. On that account, you've also highlighted that the damages and shortages of these transformers are due to theft and damages of heavy rainfall. Do you have any medium to long-term measures to address these challenges?
I'm not a technically inclined person, but I think we had a discussion with the technicians. I think he made mention of, I think we call it earth leakages and the lightning arresters, but through you, Honorable Commissioner, I think the most relevant person to answer to the technical question on how do we prevent that from occurring.
That's fine.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Commissioner, we are doing conditional assessments of our infrastructure weekly. We are doing conditional assessments of our infrastructure. We have even went to a stage where we have appointed a service provider in the form of a professional service provider to do an overall audit of the farming community, the line supplying the farming community in Vennesdorp. Because the issue again is not only about the transformers, it's about total sustainability of power supply to those areas. So they have developed a study and they have identified some of these challenges that are contributing to failures of our infrastructure. So one of the things is the transformer ethic. These people, they steal copper wires. So transformers, they are earthed with copper wires. That is one of the things that we have identified. Others is over a period of time, your lightning arresters have been installed many years ago. They need to be replaced. So that is one of the things that we identified. Going into the financial years, we want to start refurbishment processes to replace.
No further questions for the Commissioner.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's start there where Mr. Lekoma left off. What is the rate of maintenance? Do you maintain this, your infrastructure?
Yes, we do conduct the maintenance of, I think the question is, do we conduct maintenance? Yes, we do.
Is there a maintenance plan in place in order to avoid some of the issues that could be avoided?
I'm not sure, but through Honorable Commissioner, I think the response from Mr. Malke is clear that it's not so much about maintenance. It's so much about theft that we experience. That's what he raised. The copper line, is it not the copper line? I think he said the copper earthing, but he will correct me again. And the other issue that he mentioned, it's a matter of the devastating rate of lightning that we experienced at a particular point in time, especially in the Ventersdorp area. So yes, maintenance, we do attribute those challenges to maintenance, but I think he did mention that more or most of the contributing factors there will be theft, and then will be again the heavy thunderstorm that we experienced, and that made most of the transformers actually to go down. But I think insofar as the maintenance plan is concerned, I will then give it to him as the head of the electricity department.
We don't have an approved maintenance plan by council, but what we do have documents that we use to guide us to manage and maintain our infrastructure. So maintenance we are doing. I'm just saying this to the commission because I know the follow-up question was going to say, can you present to the commission the maintenance plan? We do have documents that guide us to do our maintenance, but I might not give you a formal document approved by council to say this is JB Max electricity maintenance plan. What we do is we do have master plans that help us to guide us on how to refurbish and upgrade our infrastructure. And there's other standards that we use to maintain our infrastructure. Yes.
Okay. In a rate of 1 to 10, how many percent would you say maintenance is causing some of the problems that you're facing? In a scale of 1 to 10.
In a scale of 1 to 10. You know, and here we are talking about transformers. Man.
Yes.
Yes. You know, funny enough, transformers by their nature, and here we are referring to pole-mounted transformers that are mounted at the pole. Councillor Peter Stein will tell you. Those things, when they are installed there, it's equipment that only when it fails or when people are not getting power supply, you'll get an indication to say that transformer is failed. They are supposed to be there until they fail. They are not units that you can always open up and check inside what is happening there. It's a sealed unit installed at pole top. The only issues that you can always check and maintain is that issues that I've raised earlier on. Your wiring from the transformer to the earth, that is protecting the transformer against lightning and so forth. Those are the things that we always maintain. But the transformer as a unit itself, it's a sealed unit that you'll only replace when it's failed. There are transformers that you can open, but these ones that I'm referring to, they are sealed unit. You cannot strip and inspect inside.
My question remains unanswered. In a scale of 1 to 10, how would you say maintenance is contributing to the failures of the transformers?
In a scale of 1 to 10, I can say maybe 4, 3.
Okay, thank you. In other words, you would agree with me that if you can eliminate that 4, some of these complaints would not have come. If you were having a schedule, sticking to it to repair and in fact maintain, let me use the right word, maintain, you would eliminate some of these problems that Peter Stein is raising. Let's please use the microphone because we are streaming this thing on YouTube. Some of communities are watching. So you agree with me. So we can now apportion a certain responsibility or omission on your part to a certain extent. Let me just say, because it's saying 3 to 4, say 30%. You're contributing to the problem. Thank you. Now, let's come to, you're saying Mr. Peter Stein is aware of these problems and you are constantly communicating with him. What modes of communication are you having with him?
Okay. We are communicating via WhatsApp, via telephone, on a call.
If the commission were to request that you provide those correspondences where you are in fact communicating with Mrs. Stein, and somewhere you even said he acknowledged that some farmers are not paying, would you be in a position to provide such correspondence, that those WhatsApp?
I'll have to establish that communication and then I can happily bring it to the commission.
I request humbly, Commissioner, that we have that information be made available.
Before PM, I just want to follow up on the maintenance issue. Who conducts the actual maintenance? How do you have staff members? Do you have electricians in your department who actually conducts the maintenance?
Yes, I do have staff.
And they go to the farms.
They go to the farms.
Didn't you testify earlier, it was either you or the MM, that you have difficulty to visit the farms? The municipality has difficulty to get access to the farms. If that is the case, how do you maintain these transformers and copper cables and so on? How do you actually do that if you are restricted from visiting the farms?
Commissioner, some of the transformers, they are inside properties of the farm owners. Some, they are easily accessible to us to reach. Maintenance, we have power lines running all over where we can easily access them. Some you can easily access, some is difficult to access. But I can tell you now, most of the time when there's a power failure, these farmers, they are even coming to us, as working with us, trying to work towards a solution of getting the powers restored. So there's areas where we are having difficulty to access, especially when we have to deal with issues of accounts. There will always be difficulties to access the customers. But for power restoring and maintenance, we will always access the site.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Now let's move on to the issue of, I think it was raised by the MM. You indicated in the strongest terms that you will not provide electricity to people that are not paying for the services. Did I get you correctly? I don't want to misquote you.
Thank you. When I started, I said, we are providing electricity. The issue here is the transformer. But as the municipality, we are providing electricity.
But do you agree, would you agree with me that without the transformer, you will not be able to provide the electricity at the core of the issue?
Okay. Electricity, as is made available without a transformer, it won't reach, yes, the consumer.
So in other words, you are not providing them with electricity because there's a fault somewhere in your system, which is not their own fault. It's a fault in the system which must enable them to get electricity.
They are not yet getting access because of that fault, I agree.
Now let's go back to my first question. You are saying no payment, no service. That's what you said.
Yes, that's a credit control policy.
Okay. In your credit control policy, say for instance, I owe you 5 friends. You've given me services for 5 friends. And you see that I might have capacity. There are certain instances where people may not pay for services because they don't have capacity. But say I have capacity to pay you. What stops you from taking legal actions to recover your money instead of withholding the services? Because we are not just talking about these are critical services.
We are not withholding the service. Like I said, we are unable to provide transformers to those who are not paying the municipality. And you talk about legal action. We have on numerous occasions engaged and requested that those consumers should pay the municipality. And I think I've made the point here that even in their own accord, are the ones who even took the municipality to, or let me say, pursued legal action in protest of paying the municipality. But we have pleaded on numerous occasions with them to settle their accounts until they even protested and approached the High Court.
You have a legal unit in your municipality, right?
That's correct.
Have they written any letters of demand to those farmers who are withholding?
We have written those letters of demand.
How many letters have been written to them? If, for instance, or would you be in a position to provide the commission with such letters?
We should be in a position to provide. I can't provide a number.
You've not taken the matter yourselves to court for people who are not paying?
Not as yet. What I know is that probably there's a list of those that we have handed over. I can't confirm as of now with certainty, but we do have measures where we hand over the defaulters to external collectors.
I think, Commissioner, that list of defaulters would also be useful in investigating this matter, because we would be in a position to determine how much is being owed to the municipality vis-a-vis how much they should be procuring in terms of this 18 to 20 transformers. One last question from me. How much is one transformer at this current rate?
I think Ramak will assist because it depends on the size of the transformer. So he knows for, should I say, a farm, what would be the average size and probably the average price. Maybe he might not know the price because it's the supply chain management. Maybe he knows, but through you,
No, thanks. Commissioner, the MM was right. It will always depend on the size. The prices will depend on the size. So at this point in time, I might not be able to say.
Small, big, small, medium, large.
Okay, a 25 kVA transformer can run around between 20 and 30,000. 25 kVA, a 50 kVA can be just a few thousand more, maybe around 38,000. And then when you go up to 100 kVA, you are going now closer to 80, around 70, 80,000. And then 200 kVA, you are going now above 100,000, around 140,000.
Okay, thank you very much. And maybe the last question, looking at this 18 transformers that were damaged. Maybe in the report as well, maybe if they can not, but I'm struggling with this, referring to a future report, because the subpoena was clear that they must provide this information. They ought to have brought the numbers. They ought to have brought everything that was able to assist this commission. Because now, I would have loved, in fact, it would have been helpful for this hearing to know that would have brought us a schematic diagram of these 18 to 20 and say we have fixed 1, 2, 3 and we are remaining with this number, and out of this number it would cost us so much, and these are the reasons why we've not fixed. So I have a problem with these responses because they are incomplete, and it looks like the municipality was not even aware that this hearing would take place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pierre, your questions?
Thank you so much. For me, it's just one or two questions. So one, you indicated that you've been in contact with Councillor Stein. Did he provide you with the list of the specific farms he was advocating for in that communication?
Yes.
Okay. So when he says in the complaint 18 to 20 farms, you know which farms it is?
I don't want to say upright to say the 18 farms that is referring to on this particular case are the very same transformers that he was talking to me about, because we are talking with councillors every day. I'm talking to councillors every day with regard to operational issues. He might have spoken to me about all the 18 of them. He might not. He might have spoken to me about 6 of them. So we are communicating via WhatsApp, via phone on a daily basis. But like I said earlier on, with regard to all the complaints that he was speaking to me about, I can say most of the time we were responding. That the only challenge was the time that we took to respond.
Okay.
Yes.
No, it's fine then. As part of the information, because he provided the time frames, he says these are the farms were affected from March.
Yes, but then I forgot earlier on, sorry, ma'am, Commissioner, through you to say, I said earlier on to say, it will be, I will really request that I be afforded a chance for me to go back and look into the records to see from all the farms that Councillor Peter has reported, of all the 18, how many did you replace and how many did not? Yes, that I will do.
No, that's the part I wanted to clarify. Thank you, Commissioner.
You done,
Yeah,
Pierre?
the other issues have been covered. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
You see what Mr. Nkonde said earlier, we clearly stated in the subpoena notice that you were supposed to provide us with information and documentation, etc., etc. It would have been helpful for this hearing if, when did you receive this? When was this notice served? Mr. Nkonde, was it about a month ago? Yes, about a month, more than a month ago. You had sufficient time to prepare information for us. You knew what the hearing was about. It was about Councillor Stein and his complaint about the transformers. It would have been helpful if everything could have been brought to the hearing today. But we will discuss the way forward just now. Emin, you earlier said that you procured transformers through deviation process. What was the Auditor General's opinion for doing that, and why did you follow that approach? Because you said it's urgent. It was urgent. It had to be procured. Why did you decide on deviation? And again, what was the view of the Auditor General with regards to that approach?
Okay, thank you. I think Mr. Makes already indicated that there was a heavy storm that had occurred during that time and resulting in communities staying without power. We had to urgently restore power. So by then, the municipal stores was closed, as in not closed because it was outside operational hours. It was non-functional, closed not functional. So we didn't have stock in store where we can just go and then restore power. So we had to procure. Now you have communities without electricity, and you have to restore that electricity as a matter of agency. So that's why then the municipality decided to go out and urgently procure through deviation process. There were inquiries, yes, from the general. I can't say with certainty as to what was but that was our explanation to the Auditor General, that on why we actually deviated. But I think I can go back to that audit query and then, should I say, extract it as it is. And at the time allocated to us, we'll then give that response straight from the Auditor General. I'm skeptic. I don't want to misrepresent what the AG had said.
So there was an audit general's query with regards to that process that was followed.
I think it was there, I'm not certain, but we were audited for that financial year. So I wouldn't say with certainty whether there was an audit finding or query or not on that. Hence, I'm saying with the fear of misrepresenting Office of the Auditor General, I can go back and then check on the audit findings or inquiries. And then if then it was there, I can bring the entire transcript as to how was it raised, how did we respond, and how was it concluded.
Which financial year was that?
I think it was 2023, 2024.
And what was your audit outcome for that financial year?
2023, 2024, there's a qualified audit opinion.
Qualified. All right. Okay, any other inputs, any other questions for the MM and his team? Nothing. All right. Way forward, as indicated earlier, we were hoping that you would bring us information, all the documentation that was required, specifically with regards to the transformers, the engagements you had with Councillor Steyn, because Councillor Steyn's name is prominent in the subpoena notice. So you knew what the subpoena notice or the subpoena hearing was all about. We were really thinking that you would bring us relevant documentation. I'm concerned about capacity in your office. So I'm going to ask you, there's a lot of information that we want from you. And I hope you've made notes. I know that the provincial manager will also write you a letter. Hopefully this time you will not ignore the letter like you ignored the previous ones. That you would go through the letter and see, what information is required and then provide us with that information. Can we get the information from the municipality not later than Friday the 25th of July? Not this Friday, the following Friday. Is it possible?
Oh, sorry, that's sufficient time. Thank you, Commissioner.
Of course, you still, you have committed to disciplinary hearings there in your office, and I know it's going to take your time this week and next week. Will you have time to finalize these reports?
No, we commit to the 25th or no before.
All right. Okay, so then I also indicated that there was a letter from my office that you also ignored. It was addressed to you the 28th of November, 27th of November last year. It was, no, it's not there. No, it's not there. Something different. I'm just using the opportunity, abusing the opportunity to bring this to your attention as well. It's just another example of correspondence from the Human Rights Commission that was ignored. You did send someone to attend the engagement on the water justice tracker. I'm not sure who the person was. I can't really. Dr. Stanley Makuba. He's still in your employment. He attended the engagement. We, after the meeting, send a letter to you. We've done all the work. We developed a profile for your municipality and we requested inputs on the profile. It's a profile to assist the municipality to ensure the progressive realization of access to water. And we have not received any feedback. So from my office, Ms. Mpo Tsoku will send you an email. If you can just ask your staff to respond to it, but through your office, the correspondence must come back to me. All right. So that we will also do that, and we have your private email address. Do we have it? Please give. Yeah, if you could just give us your private email address, so that we do that. But I want to emphasize this thing of Gmail addresses. No telecom lines. I'm not sure about telecom lines, but I'm just referring to other municipalities. Guys, honestly, once we reach that stage of Gmail addresses and just using cell phones, and communities don't have access to a municipal manager, they don't know how to get hold of you, forget about that municipality. It's over. I just want to emphasize that. I am concerned about the state of municipalities in the Northwest Province. You know, I was driving from the city where I live to Rustenburg yesterday afternoon, and once you cross the Vaal River, my goodness, the roads are just, I thought the roads in my province were terrible, and they are, but Northwest takes the cake. The roads, R30, what is that thing? Is the R30?
No, yeah, they are 32 provincial roads.
I know, but I'm
But when you pass
roads,
within the
streets.
town, I don't think you experienced any problems.
Is it just because
And the dog is
there
part
was
of
one
us.
massive pothole I almost collided into, but but it's fine. I'll bring it to your attention when I pass Ventersburg, door back home.
Situation right now.
I will call you. I will call you. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Late afternoon. Right, there's another complaint that I want us to deal with. It is the one of Edith Malke. And I'm going to request, is it you, Mr. Nkombe?
He will introduce, Citizen will introduce, I'll introduce the last.
So you're going to do that for us. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, Commissioner. We also received a complaint from Ms. Edith Malke on the 21st of November 2024. The complaint allegation relates to shortage of water and toilets in Matwan, which is a project 2, and that residents are forced to utilize water from the stream, which is also utilized by animals. And on 27 November 2024, the Commission addressed an allegation letter to the office. And then follow-up correspondence was addressed to your office on 18 February 2025 to respond to the allegations made. And then another follow-up correspondence was sent, okay, that should be the third, so that should be the complaint. That's about it. And based on the complaint, therefore, municipal manager, you are required to respond to the Commission's correspondence as I've detailed. And you're also required to give any further evidence or information that may be helpful for the Commission's investigation of the matter. Moreover, you are also required to produce all articles or documents that are in your possession or custody or under your control that may be necessary in connection with the Commission's investigation. I will then hand over to you, and then for you, Commissioner, to respond to the complaint. Thank you.
Are we only dealing with this complaint now? All right. Emma, can you respond to that? And I honestly,
MM, where the previous complaint was of a technical nature, I honestly cannot understand why you did not, unless you have the information in front of you in document format, why it's so difficult to have provided us with a response on this complaint. Shortage of water and toilets, and residents are forced to utilize water from the stream. How difficult is it to provide the commission with a response on these complaints? It's not difficult at all. Or is it? Amen?
I agree, Honorable Commissioner, it's not difficult at all. Hence, I had committed to say that I will take up these matters from the Human Rights Commission going forward myself. And on the commitment of the 25th, it has to be me responding to this and making sure that I package everything for completeness and making sure that it gets received or submitted on time. Honorable Commissioner, on the Matwan matter, in fact, we had numerous discussions on this matter. Honorable Commissioner, we at no point leave our people to consume water from the streams. And Matwan, we acknowledge it's an area that is not provided water through your normal piped system. It's a village just outside Potchefstroom. So we have about 4 boreholes in that village. And we acknowledge that from time to time we experience vandalism, people who are vandalizing and stealing components of the borehole. But from time to time, again, as and when it is reported, within a reasonable time, we rush into remedy the situation by repairing those boreholes. And in those instances, when it is reported to us, I think when we bring the file on the 25th, we will strive to, isolate the information of water provision to Matwan, because through alternative measures, we provide water, alternative measures that will be your tankering system or water tankers or water tank trucks. We then respond to make sure that we don't leave or keep people without water. As you know, that is a very critical and essential service. So, in closing, Honorable Commissioner, I'm saying, one, we are relying on those boreholes and then we are repairing them as and when we get a report that they've been vandalized or damaged. That's number one. And then number two, during those times and periods, we make sure that there's water provision through alternative means, that is your tankering processes or provision of water through water tankers. So we do strive to make sure that our people constantly are provided with water. I don't know, through you, I don't know whether is there.
You've just opened a can of worms here now.
No,
I have so many questions now.
But that's the truth.
All right. Water.
They are saying they don't have toilets. What is the situation in Matwan? They don't have toilets. And you are saying that water is provided by means of the boreholes. What is the issue with the toilets there?
Okay, the toilets, as a municipality, we are busy with the program of providing, it's called ventilated improved toilets, VIP toilets. Because like I've said, they are not connected to the network, so we cannot provide those flushing toilets. As the municipality, currently we have a program for this, for the previous financial year. We were providing toilets to the extension in Fantasdorp. We're providing toilets in Klep, and some toilets are provided in another area called, it's not really an official area, official name, Waitasi. So we are firmly on the process or program of providing toilets. Honorable Commissioner, it's just that in some instances, when the municipal resources are not yet sufficient to reach some areas, we get complaints like this. But the picture that we're trying to paint here is that we do have that program. It's just that it hasn't reached some areas. And then probably where it has not yet reached, then you get this kind of complaints. But as a municipality generally, we are in a process of providing toilets. And areas like this will then be prioritized because these are villages, and we know that previously we were using the pit toilets. So as a municipality, we are rolling out this process of now providing the ventilated, improved toilets to this community.
Matwan is a village just outside Potchefstroom. Is that what you're saying? All right. And how many toilets will be provided per capita? Or per household? Is it one toilet per household, or is it one toilet for more than one household?
No, we are not providing communal toilets, Honorable Commissioner, so it will be one toilet per household. It's not a sharing system.
And how many toilets would that be?
I think the verification report of Matwan, I have not had sight of that. I will then confirm with the town planning and development division. But from what I can recall, I think the last time it was said something to the tune of 2,300 toilets will be required.
Have you started with that procurement process?
We are concluding the process with Extension 10, like I said, Honorable Commissioner. So Matwan, yes, it's part of the program that we are prioritizing. And I'll be honest to say that we are prioritizing because it's part of the problem. So it's just that for now it's Matwan that is being brought forward, but we are dealing with a serious problem of access to toilets almost right across the JB Marks jurisdiction. So Matwan is part of that, where we are then saying that for this financial year, the upcoming financial year, I think we are looking at almost half of the entire population to provide toilets, because we're providing toilets. You can't focus in one area, otherwise you'll be flooded with correspondence from other areas and say, no, only one area is being prioritized. But just to answer your question as to have we commenced with the procurement process, yes, we have already commenced with that procurement process.
And what does that entail? Where are you with that process? Contemplating it.
I think the tender has been issued. So once it's closed, then it will be going through the relevant committees then for evaluation, adjudication, and subsequently appointment. Then give or take, let's say maybe beginning of September, we should be able to
So the tender is
over
out.
the
You
site.
confirm that the tender is out.
Yeah, from what I can recall, the tender has been issued. From what I can recall, but I stand to confirm that. But from what I can recall, the tender has been issued, and then we should. Let me just say that on or before 1st of September, we should be done with the entire processes.
All right, but you will provide the office with all all the information. On the water and the water tankering, who's responsible for that service?
The municipality has actually outsourced that service. So it's private service providers.
Who are they?
As in, like, should I provide the names now?
Yes.
No, what I know is that it's been outsourced, Honorable Commissioner. I can provide the information with all the payment confirmations and everything.
And
Yes.
how much more or less are you paying them per annum? Just an estimate. How many million per month?
Let me say, what I know is that they rate 650 per hour because it's planned. It's a higher of planned. So per month, I'd say give or take, I think maybe 300,000, because we have different settlements where we don't have water provision, informal settlements, by the way. So I think about 5 or 6 of them, not only Matwan only, 5 or 6. So I'm saying cumulatively, all of it, it's about 300,000 to provide water to all those settlements, Matwan, Hillside, Mountain View, Moidasi, Klep, Draft. We've got a couple of them. Yes. So hence I'm saying about 5 or 6 informal settlements.
How many water tankers are operational? How many do they send to the communities, more or less?
I think more or less we're using about 5.
5
Yes.
per day.
I think the question was, we said per day because the question was to say how many do we send out to? Yes. So
Every day you send out, or they send out 5 water tankers.
yes, we're providing water on daily basis
And the cost is approximately 300,000 rand
per month
a month. Now, where do they source the water from? Where do they get the water?
from the municipality.
So they get it for free and then they sell it for a profit, or what is
No,
the
they are not
arrangement?
selling, they are merely transporting it. Hence I'm saying we are paying a plant hire rate.
Mhm.
So they are actually helping us to transport the water to the communities. They are not selling it. They're not allowed to sell it. It's the municipality providing the water through
We're
alternative
providing them
means.
with purified water.
Yes, it's the water that we all drink because it's sourced from our network
And it is then delivered to the
communities. That's correct.
And there are no other business people who also have access to your water sources, who then sell the water to the community.
Now, there's only one point where they have access to, should I say, lack of a better word, load. Yes. So we don't have any other person except those that we have contracted having access to our water. And it's at the infrastructure department. And our infrastructure department is in such a way that it's sort of a precinct. So it's almost at the center of the precinct. So you can't have any other person except those that have been contracted to come have access to water. So even, I'll give you an example, is next to His office, in front of water, in front of the fire service, it's in front of the mechanical workshop. Everybody can see that, but these are the only contracted people. And we have a dedicated employee who makes sure that only those who have orders then are able to get water there.
No, I'm asking this because we visited another municipality in another province, a different province, last week. And we, with our own eyes, I even took photos, observed private companies, private business people having access to water works or purification works. And when we spoke to the person in charge, asking them, but who's allowing this to happen? One plant said, no, the mayor and the MMC said, no, you must allow them to come in, and they have free access to the water, and they can then go and sell it to the community. The other plant, when we spoke to the person in charge, said, no, they pay a fee to the security. No, they buy it somewhere else. They bring a slip and they present the slip to the security guard. They have access, and then they fill their Jojo tanks that are placed on their trucks, and they go to the communities. We were standing there. This is not JD Marks, it's another municipality. We were standing there. Those entrepreneurs were just every 5 minutes, another one was coming in, having access to free water, then selling it to the communities for 350 rand. And then if they questioned the selling of water to them, heavily armed people also got involved. So that is why I'm on. This is a very serious matter. The water tankering is a very, very serious matter. We also need to understand what is actually going on in all municipalities, including yours, and that is why I'm asking this question. You are saying that there's a person monitoring access. We have seen people, we have spoken to people monitoring access, but the system is still bypassed and people still get access to free water, which they then sell to the communities. Is that happening in your municipality?
Thank you, Commissioner. We haven't had any reports of people, community members actually, with water being sold to them. Community members know that the water is free from the municipality, so it's not sold. So we have, we have different communications or different means where people can report. For instance, we have a community radio station where people can even call in anonymously and report that Kumbe is doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. We haven't had such, should I say, queries or reports where water is being sold to community members.
And does the municipality have a plan to procure its own water tankers to provide the service itself?
Yeah, we actually just close to year end, I think we procured 3 water tankers. So then it will then say from the 5 that you are dispatching, then we'll be replacing the 3 with our own until we get to a point where we are now using our own fleet to transport water. We've been, in some instances, being assisted by our fire department, but that is when they are not committed. So we strive so much to internalize the service. So we have actually procured 3. So I think they'll be delivered. Maybe when we come back on the 25th, we might give you a different report where we are confirming that they've been delivered.
All right. And in your report of the 25th of July, I also want you to address how you have addressed Ms. Malke's complaint. She's complaining about access to water, about toilets, and I want you to provide a response to the Northwest office on how you've dealt with that complaint. Right. But we can step off this one and move to the last complaint. Sorry, did I miss something? No, that dealt with the question.
No, we haven't, but I am happy to move on to the other.
No, Mr. Mkonde, ask your questions and it has been.
Well, let me follow up then on one question. You're saying you're extracting, or you are paying 300,000 per month. Is it on one water tanker or on each of those 5 water tankers?
Yeah, that is the estimated. I think the question was to say that for all 5 of them, what is the estimated monthly cost? Yeah, so that is the estimated monthly cost for all the water tanker in service.
May I request through you, Commissioner, to also get a cost estimate? In the report, they must include as to when did they start using these 5 water tankers, until when, and the cost breakdown for all the months that they've used this, because I believe that they could have procured their own. With the cost of 200,000, we can even pay an installment of 1. By 6 months, we'll be done with any of them.
I'm not responding, Honorable Commissioner, but I think as a municipality, most of the time we are not being granted the financing option from the dealerships. I'm hearing Mr. Mkonde is mentioning the installment. In most instances, the dealerships would want us to issue an order, settle, and then only they deliver. So it's virtually difficult for us to deal with the installment. If there was such an option, we would have long actually taken it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. You have covered me in most of the questions I wanted to ask, but just to seek clarity on the issue of toilets. You did indicate that there are plans to build toilets for the community of Matwan. I want to understand the current state of the toilets in Matwan. Is it long pit toilets?
Yes, that's the pig toilet.
Have these toilets, were these toilets dug up by the communities or the municipality built the toilets for?
As far as my knowledge will serve me, which has tend to be corrected, I believe it's the community members themselves that have made provision for those toilets.
Okay. Do you have any knowledge as to whether these toilets have ventilation systems in place?
I think these are old school toilets. Hence, I'm referring to say when we move towards providing them with toilets, we will then move over to the ventilation improved. So surely these ones is the old traditional without ventilation improved mechanisms.
That will be all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Pia, questions?
Thank you, Commissioner. You indicated that the area is being provided with water through boreholes. And just to confirm, and you said there are 4 boreholes, are all 4 boreholes currently working?
Yes, the boreholes are operational.
Okay. Do you have information about the yield? How much water they yield?
I'll be honest, up to date detail I won't be able to provide.
Okay, you can provide in due course.
To do that.
Okay, but you indicated also that there is no water reticulation system in the community. So how are residents being provided with boreholes? How does the water move from the boreholes to residents?
I tend to be correct. I'm not sure whether we to date connected communal taps. So can I just go back and confirm on that one whether we have communal taps or not?
All right. Yeah, because for me also, maybe let me state this on the record, Commissioner. It's one thing for Kumbe not to have submitted a written response, but for you not to be able to answer basic questions about a complaint, I'm really not sure, Mr. Kumbe. Where were you going when you left the office? Because for you not to know is a water complaint, you don't know how the residents even receive water.
Hence I'm requesting that because I think I don't want to be too upfront and say from the borehole they are connected to the communal tap. And I can't, for the sake of saying I just want to respond and then get off the hook and then provide information that I'm not too certain about. So hence my request that I should just double verify. I think on most issues we've been able to clarify, but one thing that I'm just saying is that I'm not sure from the borehole whether do we have communal taps. So I think that's the only question that only a few of them that we've requested to just go and then confirm. But I think most questions we've answered with certainty.
Commissioner, I'll request through you then that we be provided with the means of water provision in the area as part of the report. If there are communal taps, we need to know how many. If there are water tankers, we need to know how many. And the approximate distance to households, we need to know all that information. Also, we need to know the number of residents in Matwan, if that can also be confirmed, because there are different reports about the sanitation system in Matwan. We will request to know how many of those households, number of households, yes, please provide it to the number of households. And how many of those households have been provided with toilets? How many households are yet to be provided with the toilets? And also a time-bound plan for providing the remaining residents with toilets. And also in terms of the water, that's why and this is why I asked the question, because you spoke about the borehole, you spoke about water tankering. I'm a bit confused. You said, yeah, they're supplied with water tankering, no, with borehole. And then later you say they are supplied with water tankering daily. So these two answers are inconsistent. Because initially you said water tankering is a backup, but now water tankering is being provided daily. So that's why we need to get clarity. How are residents of Matwan getting water? If it is water tankering, we need to have the water delivery schedule in respect of Matwan. We need to have the water delivery notes to confirm that water was actually being delivered. Also, in terms of the delivery, we need to know the quantity that is being delivered. When you say 5, I think you said 5 water tankers is, if I've missed it, you pardon me, but what? 5 of what? Is it 10 liter? Is it 10,000? 5 of what? So that we know how much water is being delivered to the people of Matwan. And the reason why we need the information is, as indicated in the complaint, residents are saying they are short of water. And you are saying we are providing residents of water. So there is a dispute of fact. Both cannot be true at the same time. Either what you are saying today is untrue, or what they are saying is untrue. So that's why we need that information. That we have requested. Perhaps maybe let me ask the MM. The reason I paused is because MM is saying he will need to respond in due course. But perhaps if he wants to reflect on the issues I've raised, and then I can ask the last issue that I wanted to raise.
Amen. Can you respond to some of the areas that you are comfortable with providing us with accurate information?
Okay, thank you, Chair. I think the first issue, I think you said PM. PM, okay.
Yes, provincial manager.
Yes, I said we have 4 boreholes in Matwan, and we are using those boreholes, and in instances where there's no adequate water, maybe due to vandalism and all those, we're using water tankers. But I again said that the issue of water provision, I mentioned areas where we are providing again using water tankers, and I think the commissioner then asked me to say how many modes of transport are you using, how much does it cost, and all those things. So I was not necessarily saying boreholes and then contradicting again. I said we use it as a backup, yes, but in those instances where there's no water or due to vandalism or any other reason. But mentioning other water tankers, all of that was to say we have other areas over and above Matwan where we are providing in it. I think that's where the Honorable Commissioner said we open the can of worms and probe further. But there's no problem. We'll provide that information related to the number of households and how many toilets we intend providing. I think the time schedule that has been requested and all those. But I think Honorable Commissioner alluded to the fact that the detailed, I don't know, lack of a better way, is it request for information or what? Yeah, or detailed transcript of what it will be needed will then be.
Well, we just need to read our letters to you.
No,
That is what we require.
No, I'm saying coming out from here, there's additional detailed information that is requested. So we will have that and then respond, try to respond adequately to that.
So you are saying the submissions you made about daily delivery of water, I think you said is 5, is not for Matwan. Is that what you are saying?
That's why I mentioned your flood drive, the way it does
Okay.
content view and all those things. As an indication that we strive to provide water.
Okay. And currently, as you speak to us today, is there any water tankering that is taking place in Matwan?
As of today.
Yes, as you sit here in this, how are you providing the people of Matwan with water as of today?
As of today, like I said, we have boreholes. And to the best of my knowledge, boreholes, there have not been any malfunctions that have been reported.
Okay.
Then that would then say we are sourcing from the boreholes.
Okay, so there would not be water tankers. So you say water tankers is only if the boreholes cannot provide water. That's the only time we use water tankers in Matwan.
That's correct.
Okay. The last, I don't know if it's the last issue, let me not say that. The issue of toilets have been canvassed, but the remaining issue of electricity, because the other issue the complainant raised is the issue of electricity. To say they do not have, there are some areas in Matwan that do not have access to electricity. Can you please maybe address that issue?
Through you, Honorable Commissioner, electricity issue, that's why I actually brought it at the market. But what I know is that it's not only again Matwan, but I don't want Honorable Commissioner to say we only come here to sort of, as in we then say we'll provide to Matwan everything. What we are seeking to demonstrate here is that we strive to service the communities of JB Marks local municipality. And there are pockets of communities that didn't have electricity, same as Matwan. And Ramaki will share the details where we have, as at end of June actually, made strides to connect those communities. And further to that, we'll then give an update as to how far are we with regards to Matwan application to ensure that they get connected, and how will we respond to. Ramaki will elaborate, but what I can bring to the attention of the House is that we did make applications, but I stand to be corrected. But due to Matwan being it's a rural area, and the houses are so much far apart from one another. The Department of Electricity and Energy actually, let me say declined, but he'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they declined on that basis, that the cost of connection is far too much compared to houses that are close to each other. And I think the second issue again was that that area is predominantly, and should I say, agricultural area where people would breed cattle and all those things. So the cost of connection to the Department of Energy and Electricity actually didn't really, should I say, entice them to fund us as a municipality to go and connect. But I think much clarity will then be provided by Tatimaki.
Any other questions on this?
No, thank you very much, Commissioner. And PM, like the MM was saying, Matwan, just like any other settlement, we are providing a service of electricity through CAP funding that we have been getting all over the years from the Department of Energy and Electricity. So in the past, there's areas in Matwan that we have electrified. Matwan as a village, there's subdivisions or sections. There's an area called Matwan Ratimo. I remember in 2018-19 financial year, we've connected 156 houses to the grid. And then in 1920, we've connected Matwan Paraho, 115 connections to the grid also. Then in the second financial year, financial year of 2021, we have submitted an application to the department for the electrification of Matwan Kapamari. But unfortunately, the department was not comfortable with funding that project because of how areas are scattered. It had an impact on the cost per connection because of how areas were scattered. But instead, what the department did was they gave us an allocation of around 200,000 to do a study of if we were to connect that area, what would be the cost implications to the department. The study was done, it was completed successfully, and then we resubmitted the application in the next financial year for the department to fund that area. But unfortunately, it was not funded. In this past financial year, we did again submitted other areas of Matwan to the department. So we're just waiting for allocations. So some areas, PM, they are far away from the existing infrastructure for us to can maybe try something with internal funding from the municipality. That is why we're relying on grant funding. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. From my side, I would just like to re-emphasize or reiterate that I'm very suspicious about the water tankering system. And it's not only me, it's the commission as a whole that has this opinion. It's the Minister for Water and Sanitation that has expressed her concern about the water tankering system. I think the President, when he addressed the water indaba in March this year, although he was not specific, it was just an anecdote in his speech, he also referred to theft and vandalism. And once you refer to theft and vandalism, you can also read sabotage into that. And once there's sabotage, the next minute you will have water tankers at a municipality. So I'm extremely suspicious about the water tankering system in all municipalities in this country. The question that the PM raised about how is water provided to Matwan today is extremely relevant because I'm still confused. Because when you started to explain access to water, you started explaining the water tankering system, and that's when I said, but you are opening a can of worms now. And then you also said at some stage, but you are not sure, is are the houses connected to the boreholes? Is reticulation taking place via the boreholes? And now you've just confirmed that water tankers are not providing water to the residents of Matwan. It's the boreholes. So I'm extremely confused about this complaint. There's too much contradicting information now on the water provision to Matwan. I honestly don't know what is the actual state of affairs in Matwan. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, you will have to provide us with accurate information, otherwise we will be back again. Any follow-up questions on this complaint before we move on to the last one? Yes, please, Mo.
All right, maybe to also be provided in a report, but just a quick one. I think, you said that you provide water tankering, if I understood you correctly, you correct me, if there is a borehole malfunction, correct? All right, a question is how do you become aware that there is a borehole malfunction? Do you have a platform where communities maybe reach out to the municipality and alert you? How does it work?
Okay, we have honorable council and we have the ward committee members, and yeah, who constantly then would update us of any outage, and then we will then respond appropriately by either fixing or sending a traffic.
All right, okay, so you'll respond appropriately by either fixing or sending a tracking. So maybe in your report, could you then maybe finish us also with a schedule of maybe water tankering specifically for Matwan, if there's any, so that maybe we can get a sense of in the past maybe month or two, or at least from the time of this complaint, how many times has there been error or malfunction, and how many times have you either responded by fixing the borehole or at least by providing water tankering. But I think we'll also finish that request in writing. And then just one last question from me. If you can't respond to it now, maybe you can then respond to it in writing. Have you done an investigation? I think it's, as Commissioner was saying, the issue of water tankering is quite serious, and it's something that the Commission has tried to spotlight. We know in other municipalities, I won't mention them, but there are instances whereby municipal officials own those outsourced water tankers. In your municipality, if you can't confirm now, maybe in your report you could just highlight that. Are you aware of instances where municipal officials are owning those water tankers that you have subcontracted? Because you said that you have got 3 that you have purchased, which I think you haven't received, but then currently there are 5 that are going out, all subcontracted, and you are paying approximately 300,000 a month. In JB Max, is there an instance where a municipal official or even a council member owns a water truck or a water tanker that the municipality is outsourced to? Yeah, thanks.
No, we don't have such an instance.
How sure are you, Emma? Huh? Did you vet all these companies?
I'm certain. This, in fact, we received an audit query specifically on municipal employees conducting business, and even it extended to municipal councillors doing business with the municipality. The Auditor General conducts what's called CATS, computer audit assistant techniques or something like that. So they take our information and then match it with the CIPC information. So there were instances where some employees or councillors involved with their business catering and but not on water tankering. So we never had such a finding. Hence I'm saying we don't have such a occurrence.
All right. Right, let's move on to the last complaint. It refers to a letter that was written to you again, on the 19th of February this year, referring to numerous service delivery complaints lodged against the municipality. The municipality, in its wisdom, decided not to respond to the Commission. It's a detailed letter. It's on my pack on page 14, Annexure E, deals with a number of issues, allegations of service delivery failures, water supply, water leaks, blocked stormwater drains, potholes, road damage, missing damage, traffic signs, etc., etc. The list goes on and on and on. And that is probably the reason why the municipality decided not to respond to us. Mr. Mkonde, you're on the floor.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think you've introduced the complaint. Maybe to put context to it. This complaint is the one that brought Miss Anna Marie here. And the MM indicated in the beginning that there was an official from the Commission who had a meeting with Mr. Matisha in his office, the one who's managing his office. I was that official. We met, we discussed the issues, which brought about this voluminous letter. It's the first time in my life in the Commission writing such a very long letter, outlining issues. It's over 5 pages. So, unfortunately, it was not responded to. A follow-up was sent. And just to be clear, so that we don't confuse certain issues, because the email address on the face of the document seems to be wrong. I picked it up when I was sending the letter and immediately corrected it and added the K in the Kumbe. I can pull it out of my laptop just to make sure that it was the correct email as well. It was sent. Well, it's the Gmail account, this one. Yes, the official email, it also has a K.
Correct.
Yes. So this one went to the MM's personal account.
Can you confirm that MM is kumbe@gmail.com? Kumbe K. All right.
Yes.
So the one that is referring to now, Kumbe K.
Kumbe K@gmail. Okay. Proceed, Emmanuel.
Thank you very much. And just to ensure that I make reference, it also appears in page 19 on the email that was sent on the 26th of March at 0:50. But what is of concern to me, Commissioner, since you delve deep with the issue of water. In page 50, Miss Anna Marais indicated in front of which was an admission as well by the manager in the office of the municipal manager, to say that, let me just introduce this paragraph. Says some students / flat buildings have been without water meters and prepaid electricity meters for years. Several water meters have remained faulty for months, and despite the municipal manager and the previous director of infrastructure knowing many water leaks occur. What we picked up in that complaint as well, she indicated that some buildings which are owned by prominent businesses and they are used for flats, they don't have meters. They are using water for free, which also now impacts the revenue. And then they cannot fix a street light. They cannot fix a pothole. That was also tabled, and Mr. Madisha made it clear that he was aware of the problem. And I just want to leave it there. I think the issues are very clear in that letter. Thank you very much.
Any follow-ups? All right. MM, have you seen this letter? It's part of your notice. You attach it to your notice, page 14. Have you taken note of the contents? 5 pages, as Mr. Nkonde stated.
Thank you, Honorable Commissioner Mr. Nkonde. We have noted this letter, and at least there's an acknowledgement of what I said earlier, to say I had an engagement and I was told that these matters are being handled with the officials from the human rights. I was just worried nobody acknowledged. Mr. Nkonde at least then finally acknowledged that there was a time where he engaged Mr. Madisha, because it was like I'm saying something that's unsubstantiated, but at least this being confirmed. We, as a municipality, Honorable Commissioner, will talk to service delivery broadly so. We acknowledge that there were instances where, as a municipality, we were very poor on service delivery. But I can say, without any fear of contradiction, that we are actually turning the corner now as a municipality. I said earlier that we were a municipality where even the municipal stores were shut down. And you then ask yourself, how do you run the business of the municipality if you don't have your claims, your consumables? So from time to time, we have to enlist the services of private service providers to do basic things, simple things in the municipality. But I think that there's not even, that has been sorted. The municipal stores has been opened, potholes have been patched, And our resolution was that we're going to deal with the main streets, the bigger streets in town. And from there, we'll go to the feeder streets, or you call it the internal streets. And we have to date managed to fix about 6 big intersections in town using municipal staff, no service provider, nothing.
Which town is this now?
That is the Potchefstroom. So there's challenges, one cannot deny them, that they've been there. And hence the resolution now that in this upcoming budget, we have sections and parts of the town that's very old. Your Middle Park, Port Central, Greenbeard Park, to a certain extent, Bailey Park. We have those old asbestos pipes that keeps bursting from time to time. So hence the resolution now to say that instead of always digging up, distracting the road infrastructure, putting a clamp, and you put a clamp here, it strengthens here, then it then bursts another site because it's an old asbestos pipeline. So the resolution is that we're going to change all the pipes, especially the feeder pipes. So make it one length instead of opening the road here, just to deal with one line that goes end to end of the road. Expose the road once and then replace the entire pipe. And I think even that one we can provide the timelines, the project timelines when that will be done, but that is in this current financial year that we just started. So just in summary, the service delivery GV I think it has drastically and dramatically improved. And I'm saying this with Mifro Anne-Marie here. She saw the intersections. We're not talking about something that one has to go out and look for. They were bad. We understand, we acknowledge that, but we did something with that. We're doing something with that. The street lights, Ramaki is here, together with the you call it, is it robots? Traffic lights. Yeah, robot did something else. The traffic lights, he's in charge of them. From time to time, we're getting weekly reports on how many lights are we now getting back functional. I am not defending him. He's faced serious challenges because shortage of stock. So hence now we're going to procure again in bulk. We have a panel of suppliers in place. We'll procure in bulk all his components. He submitted the list already, the cables, the bulbs, and the breakers and all those things. We'll procure in bulk. And then from there, we should be able to resolve most of this thing because this is our day-to-day activities. It's not like we need service providers. We go to work every day to deal with these issues. So just in summary, Honorable Commissioner, we acknowledge we've been in a bad space, but at the same time, we can record that there is tremendous progress that has been recorded, and we continue to record such progress as we move forward. I don't know whether through you, Honorable Commissioner, whether Ramai would want to have a word before we end back to you.
Are you fine?
All right. Ms. Anne-Marie is not under oath, so I'm not going to ask her to rebut what you've just said. Yeah. Questions, follow-ups on the? It's a very safe response that you provided to us, Emma. Safe, you're not really dealing with time frames. You're not really saying to me, I can go to any paragraph, sewage leaks, 47 Wilgen Street, what has actually happened there. You're not telling us. 45 and 47 Esslin Street, you're not telling us how you've dealt with the sewage leaks there, street lights in Koch Street, what have you done there? So it's a very safe response that you provided to us, and you are telling us that a lot has changed in the municipality. I am not so convinced. I'm not convinced at all, and I will address it in my closing remarks. Um, your response is not assisting the commission at all, and I'm sure it will not assist the complainant if we say to, no, the MM has said, hey, there's a lot of improvement in the municipality, and we are busy dealing with it, and we are procuring in bulk. It's not assisting us. It's not going to assist the complainant in having peace of mind. I'm not convinced. I'm not even looking in that direction. I don't want that to influence me. Yes, Pierre.
Maybe, Commissioner, so that we do get some value for the session, because I paid for you to be here, and for the lunch. Yeah, so I would like to get a little bit of value from Mr. Kumbe. But before we get into that, sorry to take you back, in Commissioner. I think there's an issue, page 19, that we really glossed over. And the reason why I'm emphasizing this is because there was an oath taken. And with the commitment that whatever is going to be said is going to be truthful. At the start of the engagements with Mr. Kumbe, you asked him why did he not respond to the commission. And he gave varied responses, and one of them was that he's having a challenge with his official email. When we send correspondences, it bounces. And Mr. Kumbe is on record to say that as a consequence of that, he is using his Gmail account. And earlier under oath, he confirmed his Gmail account as being the account reflected on page 19. So with this one, we can be sure that he received it because it went to his Gmail account. So there's no issue of malfunctioning official account. There's no issue of officials, secretaries who are delinquent, not doing their job. There's no issue of Mr. Madisha being delinquent, not doing his job. So maybe if we can just get clarity then, now that we know that he received this communication, why he did not respond to the commission.
Can you respond to that, Emin?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Before, I've never said anyone was delinquent. And I wouldn't refer to any of my colleagues as being delinquent. So I don't think it's appropriate for us to refer to colleagues as delinquent. I said they might have missed it or something. I think we shouldn't condense it. This email, I think it's one of those where I said, this is to the best of my knowledge where Mr. Madisha was dealing or talking to officials from the Office of the Human Rights Commission. And that has been confirmed that there was an engagement, there were meetings and all those. So that is what, as far as I know, to say that on this one, Mr. Madisha was handling with colleagues from office of the, so I can't deny that on the 26th of March, the email address that is being used there, it is mine, and I did receive this and asked how far are we, and the confirmation was that the matter has been handled with office of the Human Rights Commission, and I think that day is in Gwande. I think it's confirmed that he did have an engagement with Tate Madisha on this, should I say, is a complaint? Yes, on this complaint.
Okay.
Yes.
But the submissions from Mr. Nkonde is that he met with Mr. Madisha prior to this communication. And his submission is that, and it's actually in the letter, if you look at paragraph 14. So there were no meetings, there was a meeting. That's the submission from Mr. Nkonde. If you look at page 14, paragraph 3, right? There was a meeting prior, and the letter says it was agreed that this letter would be sent to formally outline the reported municipal failures and provide you, is referring to you, with an opportunity to investigate and the concerns and report back to the commission. Do you see that? There's no way that that letter says the matter was addressed. It says, yes, there was a meeting, but there was agreement that all the issues discussed in the meeting will be brought to your attention for you to investigate and address the concerns. Yes, do you see that?
I see that.
Yeah, so there's no way where the matter, there's no indication anyway that the matter was addressed, because if it was addressed, then you would not have received the letter.
I'm saying that the matter was being handled by Mr. Madisha with an official. I'm not saying the matter was addressed. I think maybe you mean closed or something. I said it was being handled with the official from the Office of the Human Rights Commission. So I don't know, when you say addressed, you mean, do I purport to say it's been resolved? I'm not sure.
No, I didn't say that. I said addressed.
I'm not sure whether, I'm asking whether does it mean resolved or it's been handled, because I'm saying it was being, I inquired, he said, yes, I'm handling the matter with the official from the Human Rights Commission.
All right, Commissioner, there was an oath already, a signed affidavit requested for Mr. Madisha. We'll request also a signed affidavit under oath where he will confirm the handling that was happening in respect of this matter, because the submissions that have been made is that indeed there was a meeting, that it was prior to this letter. That so if that under oath, Mr. Maisi, because for it would have been good if he was here, because he seems to be the central person, so that he can also confirm under oath and provide clarity on these issues. And also I must say on the record, Commissioner, but we will leave for you to make a determination that really Mr. Kumbe's submissions since the start have been shifting. First, on why he didn't attend. And even the response now of why he didn't respond is wholly unsatisfactory, because he received the communication. It's up to you, Commissioner, to determine whether my characterization of what he said about these direct reports is correct, or what he's saying is correct. But the long and the short of it, he said the fault was with his officials. But now we have the clear case where this information was presented to him with clear indication of what is requested from him. Not from Mr. Madisha to investigate, but it says you, to formally investigate, outline and address the concerns and report to the commission. And I don't believe the letter could have been any clearer. But still, instead of the taking accountability to say, it's not my officials who dropped the ball, I dropped the ball, he refuses to take accountability for his non-responsiveness. And really that speaks volumes, Commissioner, about the culture of accountability in that in the municipality, because I have come to realize that the way municipalities treat the commission, it is the way they treat their people. If he's not accountable to the commission, he's certainly not accountable to the people. So those are my submissions, but I will leave it for you to make the final determination of whether really Mr. Kumbe is being truthful in his submissions about why he did not respond. And if he is being truthful, whether really is good enough in view of what has been requested of him. So I will leave, maybe through you, Mr. Kumbe can respond or comment if he wishes to, and then I'll move to the substantive issues around the complaint.
Mr. Kumbe, would you like to respond to what the provincial manager has just said?
Thank you, Chair. I wouldn't want to engage now to the manner or the direction that this session is taking, because now it's like being projected to take center stage. Make Kumbe shifting, Kumbe is make a determination whether it's truthful or not, and all that. So it's like now we would want to reduce the whole engagement to me defending myself. I will leave it to the commission, like the PM is saying, because it's not about the complaints and all those things. Now, like she said, my character, not being truthful and all those things. I wouldn't want to engage into that. If it's about now sort of targeting or shining a spotlight on Kumbe as a person, I don't think it will assist this commission. I think what's critical is that on the 25th, we must bring a detailed report with everything that is required by this commission, and whatever comes out of this commission, one will have to comply. And with that, I think, Chair, that's all that I will have to say. Thank you.
All right, can I just get the mic? Thank you. All right, thank you, PM. You can proceed to the substantive
Okay.
issues.
Yes, Mr. Kumbe. All right, now to the substantive issues, because one of the issues that have concerned me about the response is the issue maybe that you've raised, Commissioner. But to assist the process, Mr. Kumbe, we'll start from paragraph 5. You've indicated there's work done. Maybe if you can confirm that the good work that has been done by the municipality, does it include addressing the issues in paragraph 5 of the letter to you that is on page 50? The water supply interruptions and major leaks in the areas, the streets have been mentioned: Dyer Street, Port Towers, 61 Cox Street, main entrance of MW. Does the good work include any of those areas?
The water supply
And water leaks, yeah.
No, it says water supply interruptions, and from what we can recall is that it was not per se an interruption. It was an issue of pressure, especially at the port towers. There was water supply, but the pressure was not sufficient to sort of channel the water to the upper units. So the water supply was there, but the only issue was the water pressure there. So and insofar as main and talk, I think, Chair, I'll have to confirm on just the last 3 bullets on paragraph 5. But what we can confirm is that the major water leaks in these areas, or is it water
Yeah, it says water
or leaks?
interruptions, and it says there were water supply interruptions and major water leaks in these areas. So you're not aware of
I'll have
what
to
done?
confirm that
Okay.
Holland Park Rugby Stadium, I mean, I can't recall or record any major water leak there now recently. And main entrance of the Northwest University, corner of Mayor and Hoffman. In fact, we went there to verify our meters. We did not record any major water leak there. I think it was last week when we went to corner of Mayor and Hoffman. Hoffman, I remember it's a main entrance. Yes, just from the Katchet Park site. No water leak was detected there. So I can confirm on this 261 org, I have to confirm that.
Okay. All right, sorry, earlier you made an emphatic statement regarding the farmers who were demanding payment and who were demanding transformers, but were not paying for services. You recall that? You recall that in the record? Can
Yes,
you
we
pick
do.
the note?
I do recall.
Yes, thank you. And we see there in paragraph 6 about other businesses that are not paying for services, and it is said because of issues with meters. So do they continue to receive the services in those businesses, despite they not payment for services?
Okay, payment for services.
Mm.
We can't say they are not paying for services.
Okay.
They are being billed on estimates,
Mhm.
and then they settle their accounts
They do pay. Okay.
on estimates. So if anything, one thing that one cannot deny is that the meters are faulty. Yes. Some are
Okay.
non-functional and all those.
Mhm.
I saw them myself. It's actually an audit paragraph that we've been carrying for far too long. As a matter of fact, it's the only remaining audit paragraph that led to the qualified audit opinion in the 23-24 financial year. No, sorry, 24, 23-24.
The one that passed.
Yes, it's the only remaining qualification paragraph that is the perpetual estimates of meter readings. So we can't say they're not paying. What we can confirm is that the accurate billing, because when you use estimates, you cannot really accurately say this person has consumed so much, but we can then say that they are consuming without paying.
But has any the good work and improvement you've outlined, has been anything done to address the issue of the faulty meters?
I gave Ramaki a list of faulty electricity meters. He has done some work on that. He got a complete list of that. I can confirm that in some of the instances, like I said, I personally went and verified those meters. And those meters, like I said, we are now rolling out a new budget. It's just for us to procure new meters and install ourselves. But we've been replacing some of those meters. I can bring that list of all the meters that we have replaced. So if you ask about some work that we have done on the faulty meters, I can share that list without necessarily confining to these mentioned properties. I can share the list to say these were faulty, as a result were perpetually estimated. We've replaced them. By when did we replace them?
All right, the broader list will be fine, but also because we are investigating a particular complaint, it's fine. You can provide more information to the commission, but first you must provide information relating to the specific complaint, and then if there's any other additional information, you are more than welcome to add. Because what we don't want, which sometimes happens in some departments, where they flood you with the voluminous reports and you are trying to figure out how does this report speak to the current complaint. So you can provide any that applies to all other complaints. That you respond to the specifics, and then at the end provide any other information that you think is relevant. Paragraph 7, the storm drains. Are you aware of any work that has been done? I think it's trying to get your attention.
PM, I just wanted to say, I've since been appointed as the acting director now I'm responsible, my substantive position is manager electricity municipality. But from the 10th of June, I've now being appointed as the acting director responsible for also roads and stormwater system municipality. So all I wanted to say was for the PM, these stormwater drains, there's a possibility that there might be some work that has been done, there might not. There's a possibility also that there could be work that has not been done yet. So all that I'm going to request is that maybe afforded an opportunity again to go back, meet my colleagues and see if I can report back. In that report that will be for me part of the 25 July. And that also will talk to paragraph number 8, potholes and road damage.
Apologies for taking the mic, PM, but I have to come in here. You know, I was looking at your body language now, and I'm becoming increasingly concerned. I just get the impression it's the first time you are reading that letter. The first time, because you look surprised. You were looking at the stormwater paragraph that the PM read to you. It's as if you've never seen this letter, as if you've never opened that email that was sent to your private email address. Very concerned. So much so that your subordinate, who's not even working in that department, had to respond to it. I'm increasingly getting worried about what is going on in this municipality. Very worried.
Follow-up questions?
Okay, number 9. Has there anything been done in respect of the issues raised in paragraph number 9, damaged traffic signs?
Okay, PM traffic signs also, the traffic signs, they fall under responsibility of a different department from ours. From my side, I'm responsible for traffic lights. So I wouldn't want to comment on traffic signs.
All right.
But what I've known from the municipality is there's been work that has been done. Every time a traffic sign, like a stop sign or other form of traffic sign that has been bumped over by a vehicle, there will be work that will be carried out to replace it. So that I believe it will form part of the report of the 25 also from that specific department of traffic safety in the municipality.
All right. Thank you, MM.
Thank you. Just to add on okay, maybe let me clarify this. It's not the first time I'm seeing this report, Commissioner. So when one has to think back, that was being perceived as if we have never seen this. It's like we're not allowed to just even think. The traffic signs, especially the markings, we did consult with we call it traffic engineering in the Department of Public Safety. And it's not only the streets, by the way. The intersections, I said you've completed 6 intersections. They've not been marked, all of them. And I requested, after we had concluded those intersections, for them to be marked. But then the response was that they were still waiting delivery of the paint. So I inquired again, and they said that the specific, because we're not just using any paint, there's a specific paint that is used for road markings. So that is, so at night it can sort of glitter or reflect, I don't know what's the term. So they were waiting for that paint to be delivered, and I was told that probably by end of this month it will be delivered. So we can then deal with all those road markings. So it's not only these 3. It's most of the markings that we have to conclude.
The sewers leaks and spillages, the specific area, any of the work that has been done, does it extend to addressing these issues?
The sewer spillages and sewer leaks, we deal with them on a daily basis. And this will like your daily or recurring service delivery responses. 47 Velgen Street, it would be unblocked, and 45 and 47 SLN Street. It says the municipal plumber arrived without proper tools as at the time of writing this complaint.
Yes.
But then it was responded to. I mean, sometimes when you have to go there and then you see that, but you need specific tools to address the problem, you are being told that you didn't come with a or specialized tool to address the problem. You get comments like this, but there's no subsequent. But I think it's for us to bring it to the attention of the commission but that was attended to. So we will then update the report. The border pump station, it's a big pump station that collects almost the entire waste from Potchefstroom, and is part of the capital upgrading program that is going to be upgraded. Let me put it that way, because the capacity has reached its capacity. So work will be done on that, and because here it says that there are sewer spills into the Moire field. The issue here is not just about spillage; it's about having reached its capacity, and there's a project now where we will be upgrading the entire pump station to make sure that it carries the waste that comes from the entire of the town. And towards Klerksdorp, approximately, this is towards the gravesite. It was attended to, I can remember it. It's towards the gravesite in the township. So your first entrance, we call it the Sarafina Road, on and around there, it was attended to. And PNP Van der Hof part long, I think it just took a municipality at most a week. I remember I was part of this. So the Lakeside resort currently don't have any spillages there. This is the resort of the municipality. So that has been attended to. But like I said, Honorable Commissioner, is that sewer, it's something that we do on a daily basis. As and when it's reported, it's been dealt with. So most, if not all of them, they've been long dealt with. Thank you.
And what are your normal turnaround times for sewer? For you to address any spillages?
A spillage is reported today, and if it's reported, say, early in the morning, same day the teams are dispatched to go and deal with that, depending on the complexity of the work. But when you say turnaround, I think you mean how to response.
Yeah, what I'm saying, what your standard practices? Is it 24 hours? Is it 48 hours? I mean, there would be standards.
The standard is that at most should be 48 hours. And that is the sewer that we can address ourselves. There are those that will need jet truck machines or jet truck to deal with. But yeah, I think the standard then I've responded to that is 48 hours.
All right.
At most.
And then maybe touch on the last goodness, it's not last remaining.
Sorry, Shirley, before you step off.
No, I'm not stepping off. I'm saying I want the MM basically because there was a general statement about work, but we want to link the good work to the specifics. So maybe you can go through page 70.
I was saying before you step off. Number sewage needs maybe just for us if we follow up.
Yes. Okay, on that specific issue.
Yes, on that specific issue. Yeah, thank you so much. Just on the Water Street pump station, just maybe can you confirm, you spoke about that it needs to be upgraded, right? But I think maybe if there are no time frames, one for me, we'll need just time frames if you can respond now or maybe in writing. And then this one, which I also view in serious light, can you confirm or deny it, the issue of sewage spillages into the Moy River? Because when you spoke, or Moy River, when you spoke, you didn't really, for me, I didn't get it. Maybe I might have missed it. Is it ongoing? Is there sewage spillages into this river currently as we speak now, as at 16:30, 15th of July, 2025? Thanks.
Okay, thank you. As we speak, I don't know. Okay, time frames on water pump station.
Yes.
The consultant has been appointed, detailed designs have been completed. So the tender document has been made available to be advertised, I think, maybe end of this week. So the time frame is that it's going to be completed in the, not completed per se, rolled out in the 24-25, because I think it is a multi-year project. So I think it's a 2-year at most. So it's going to be the multi-year, rolled out in 25, 26, 26, and 27 in phases. So that is the status update. Where we are currently, the sewer spills, as I can vividly recall, it was during the heavy rainy season where most of the storm water, it sort of moves into our sewer lines. There are community members who have connected. There's actually, I would say it's a suspicion because I've asked them to say, but where exactly, so that we can deal with that issue. So that has not been identified, but what we can see is that we're seeing clear or clean water coming out of our main holes that have been blocked. The most biggest occurrence actually, it was a main hole in the street called Mido Street, right close to the water pump station. So it was actually gushing out a lot of water. So when it gushes out that lot of water, then it will then move towards the Moire Field stream. So if the question is to say currently without the heavy rain, currently we don't have such an occurrence. We experience that mostly during heavy rains where we have a lot of water coming or filling our main holes.
And just to follow up on that, has the Department of Water and Sanitation, have they made any finding or determination on sewage being emitted into the Moy River?
I'm not aware of that. What I'm aware of on record is sewer spillage happening in the Porky Dam. Yes, the site of Promosa Mohadin. We are in the Porky Dam. That one has been brought to our attention
By the department?
Yes, but then for us to address these spillages, whether heavy rain or no heavy rain, we then thought we need to upgrade the water pump station so that it can carry the heavy load that is currently experiencing.
All right, in the interest of time, I'm gonna request you maybe to go through the remainder of page 17 MM. For now, just point out what you think you have addressed of all the issues. There's the old age homes, the street lights, there's poor development planning. Just highlight just those things that you have addressed.
Through you, Honorable Commissioner, I will ask the Ramaki to deal with the street lights because that is his department. The municipal old age homes, what we can confirm is that these matters will be addressed in the current financial year. And we will confirm that, in fact, in the previous years, the municipality has not, let me just talk to the word as it is written. Yes, the neglect can be confirmed. And hence we are saying that we're going to, in the current year, deal with the bullets as mentioned here. So, poor development planning and infrastructure maintenance. You know, Honorable Commissioner, some things we need to, you know, when you mention them, other people they say, no, but you're now crying with them, but it's a statement of fact that this is where we are. Potchefstroom has grown exponentially. Whether in the township side or the affluent side, it has grown. But what didn't happen is the upgrade of the infrastructure to match that growth. That's the biggest challenge that we are facing currently. And from time to time, I'll give you a typical example. Porky Dam spillage. It happened about 20 years. It's been 20 years that it happened. The dam banks actually encroached on top of the pipeline. So the bank dam, it doesn't encroach in a day or month. It happens over time. We are trying to deal with that only now. So if we want to attribute it to poor development, as in now, we are having a poor development, that is been happening over some time. It's only now that you are trying to address that. I'll give you a typical example. The belt area, as you know, which is the university site, is not what used to be. It's not a residential area currently. It's now your student residential area. But there's never been a pipeline upgrade that site. while there's been approvals of flats and all those things to accommodate students, but the infrastructure upgrade has not been there. I had a meeting with the Raman. It was as if, I think I can now feel what you are feeling when you say I'm quizzing you because I'm here now. I asked the Ramaki, Facebook, what is the capacity that it needs? What is it that we still have left? And what needs to be done? Because Facebook has been growing and been connecting. Many estates that site. Very soon will be brought again here to say that you failed to plan for an electricity upgrade. But that has been coming over the years. And it's like some of us have to spontaneously respond to that now. So it has been happening. We can't call it poor development planning and infrastructure maintenance. Sometimes it's not only about maintenance of infrastructure. You have to completely replace these pipes. This is where we are going, as a matter of fact. The pipe in under Porkidam, we are neglecting it, we are leaving it, we are taking another route, connecting a new pipe. It can't be attributed to poor development. So that is some statements is not about rebutting or what, is to say what is it that you are doing going forward. Ex-successors in title. There's a lot of issues that we are dealing with. Very soon, and I'm sitting here, I know there are many things that have been raised are not here, discussed on this table. Maybe I might come back again to respond to those things. Your Marikana settlement, probably we heard of it, is being there. We have to respond to such things. Promote extension 4 is being there and all those settlements. So I wouldn't attribute it to poor planning by this administration. If anything, I would say, but this is what we are doing going forward, not to then throw mud at people who are trying to resolve the situation. Thank you, Chair.
Sorry, there is page 18.
Oh, sorry.
Of general administrative dysfunction and at JP Max.
Let me deal with this paragraph 14. I was listening to the Honorable Commissioner to say, we need to be accessible, we agree. But again, if we open it up, and then says we won't do any work, we will answer phones the whole day. This committee member, that committee member, and all. Matters have been raised by, we attend public participation meetings. We take all other issues from there. We develop the service delivery budget implementation plan, call it SDP. We respond to those matters. As a matter of fact, on the 22nd, we'll be adopting a service delivery budget implementation plan with all those things that have been raised. To say how are we responding to them? The challenge is to say now let's say I have to respond to each and every community member. And it then says that instead of talking to you, I'll be on my phone. Instead of doing my job, I'll be on my phone responding to each and every person in Fantasy or each and every person in Potchefstroom. It's virtually impossible to do that. And I know there are some committee members who would want to say they should talk to you, you must respond, but sometimes it's virtually impossible. I've been seated here paying focus and attention to the what we're doing here in the proceedings here. Someone would say that I called Umbe 10 times and he didn't respond, and not considering what were we doing during that time. So it's virtually impossible for us to attend to each and every community member and all. So I'm not even saying to say it's a reason why we are not. I understand the other critical communications like human rights, like the ones that you mentioned, public protector, AG, and all those, treasury. We strive to respond to those, but to say that we are unresponsive to emails and phone calls, Chair, is going to be difficult. I can tell you to respond to all the phone calls. There are other critical ones that one would take and say, yeah, but this one I should have responded to, like this communications from the commission. I should have. System failures. And this one has never been reported, Chair. And this, if you say system failure, which system? Probably, but as we respond, we will maybe engage the author and sit around and discuss. The last time we had a not even a system failure, it was a slow system. It was in 2022, and it was because we had to upgrade the server, which we duly did. We are procured a 100 terabyte server space. We are using only 10% of that to date. So we have 90% sitting idle. So there's no way the system will be slow. When you say system failure, maybe it says the system doesn't work. And, we've never reported any downtime in the system. And I think there's this 16, 17, and 18, I hope is agreed that will be addressed by the report of the 25th. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner. With regard to street lights, I must just mention this to the commission to say most of our street lights in the city were seriously affected by cable theft, but we have been responding. With regard to Cox Street, there was work done. There was a cable fault in that street, and then the cable fault was repaired. The street lights should be functional. I will make a follow up, and then I will make mention of it in the report of the 25th. But I know that there was work done with regard to the reports that I'm getting from my teams. And then Hoffman Street and Steve Biko light operate during the day. Like I said, Commissioner, some of the components, street light control circuits, we unfortunately had to bypass them because the components went faulty and we didn't have stock to replace. So we had to bypass them. That is why they are operating during the day. I just have to confirm this statement that says they are operating during the day but not at night. We bypass them for them to operate during the day and night because we don't have components as of now. But with us going into the new financial year, we will be replacing them. And then Velcro Street and Silver Street, these two streets I have to confirm, but Albert Lituli, there's work that we have done. Cable faults were repaired and the street lights are working. And then in Krisani also, there's cable faults that we repaired, lights are working, and there was even 3 lamp posts that were replaced. So there's some amount of work that we have done. Thank you very much.
Any further questions from you, PM and Mr. Mukonde? I just want to check with you quickly. When we started with the meeting, you referred to a few unsigned letters in your possession. Did those draft letters perhaps, was it an attempt to respond to this specific letter, or what? On what was? Yeah, if you could
It
just.
was on the, who's that? Oh, it's goed gevonden matter.
Oh, so it was only one matter, goed gevonden.
No, I'm saying the one that I'm having here.
Yeah.
That I remember that I saw Maleka.
But you still have those letters.
No, that's
with
not Edith Maleka. It's a matter in.
You have those letters with you. Just have a look at it. The so-called draft letters. Didn't you have hard copies in front of you when we started with the meeting, with the hearing? No. I'm referring to the unsigned letters. Okay, but it does not, none of those letters relate to the complaints in front of us, or do they?
I think this one is of Medellin, Matwan, Opano, Seri. I don't know whether. Oh, sorry. I think this is the goed gevonden. Yeah, it's a goed gevonden matter, the one.
All right.
Yeah, that's.
All right. Okay. Now, I thought it was perhaps an attempt to respond to some of the complaints Because I think you referred to 2 unsigned letters.
I don't know. I know the complaints. They are handled. They are handled by me.
They are still coming in a date in future.
Oh, it's not these.
It's not.
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yes.
No, that's fine. All right. I think that brings us more or less to the end of the inquiry. Firstly, we have given you a lot of homework, Emma. We need a comprehensive report from the municipality by the 25th of July, and I mean a comprehensive report. There's a lot of questions, a lot of outstanding answers with regards to the complaints. There's a lot of confusion after having listened to you. Now, let me be very straight with you. These complaints about JB marks are not going to disappear. This engagement, the outcome of this engagement is not going to go away. When we had the break, just before we started with your session, I was discussing the possibility of presenting to the Northwest Legislature and the Portfolio Committee. And the PM indicated to me that they've already had engagements with the Speaker, and we were discussing the approach, how are we going to get a slot to present to the Portfolio Committee and then have a report tabled in the Legislature. Now, it does not only apply to your municipality, it applies to the majority of municipalities in the Northwest Province. We, as I said earlier, we simply cannot continue like this in this province. We cannot allow a situation, and I speak from experience, having arranged an engagement in November last year, inviting all the water services authorities to the engagement, 4 of them pitching. 4. You were there, yeah, you were, but only 4 of how many municipalities do you have in this province? 80.
18 and that's 4.
No, water services authorities say.
Oh.
The water services authority.
Oh, only it was 10. All right. But the majority of municipalities and water service authorities are just ignoring. Yeah, it was the most unsatisfying engagement I've ever had. PM was there, Mr. Mukhodi was there. Now, you know, the Human Rights Commission cares about all the towns in the country. I have had engagements with all the municipalities over the last just over 12 months. All the municipalities, almost all the municipalities in all the provinces in this country. We care about all the towns. But there's something different about your municipality, Emma. And what is different is the fact that Potchefstroom is a university town. Now, I also chaired a subpoena hearing at Makanda, and I was informed, and you know, they have that is supposed to be an unbelievable university in Makanda, the Rhodes University. And it's actually beautiful infrastructure. It needs a coat of paint here and there, but it's beautiful infrastructure. But the reality is there that the donors are refusing to fund the university anymore. 2, academics are either leaving the town or threatening to leave the town because they simply cannot continue to live in a town where there's no service delivery whatsoever. And even now, Makana municipality, you'll read about them any second month. There's some court action taking place in that part of the world. There's something very special about a university town. Don't allow a situation where your academics stop academics, because that university is one of the top universities in the country, believe it or not. Where your academics will start saying, we don't want to live in this town any longer. And donors say, we're not going to continue funding this university because, our children, our grandchildren, we're not going to send them to that university. So, there's a lot of hard work, then you earlier said that we are not asking you questions about the complaints. No, the reason why you are here, the reason why you are here is not because of the complaints. It's the side issue. The reason why you are here is because you've been undermining the commission, because you've been disrespecting the commission, because you've just said, man, I'm not going to respond to you guys. That is the reality. Emails were sent to your private email address. And I'm still maintaining what I said earlier. I doubt that the complaint and the letter of Mr. Nkonde was actually referred to a staff member in your office to respond to. I doubt that, because you appeared very surprised when you read certain parts of that letter. I do not want to make a pronouncement on whether you were truthful or not. You would know whether you were. But you were very defensive in your responses. And initially you blamed your staff. You blamed your staff for not dealing with the complaints that the commission had referred to you. But what municipal manager? And let me surprise you now, and you were trying to lecture us now on you cannot take calls of community members. I used to be an MN as recent as 11 years ago at a bigger municipality than yours. I used to be an MN. I took calls of community members. I took calls of the media. I took calls of the union. I took calls of the political parties. I attended all the meetings of Chapter 9 institutions. I remember being given a very hard time by the Gender Commission for only having one Section 56 female employee. I remember that clearly. You cannot come to us and say, no, I cannot take calls. Potchefstroom, a university town with lecturers of international quality. And we are working with Gmail accounts. A municipal manager working with Gmail account, with a Gmail account. And telling me that his official, the emails sent to his official email address bounce. Why can't you do something about it? You have an IT division. Do you want me to send our IT people to you to deal with it? I'm very, very worried about what has transpired here. I think we experienced blame shift today. Staff members were blamed, and that is why the provincial manager is insisting on affidavits from those staff members to tell us exactly, did they receive instructions? Why were they not dealing with the letters from the Human Rights Commission? And who's to blame for this situation we find ourselves in? So on that note, I'm not convinced that the information that you provided was accurate. I do think you were extremely defensive initially. You started to provide us with more information towards the end of the session. How accurate the information is, I honestly don't know. I still don't know what is the situation in, what is that? Ma? Yes. Yes, in that part in Potchefstroom, where is that complaint? Matwan. Yes, Matwan. We still don't know what the situation is. I understand, having worked in the local government sphere of government, I understand that municipalities face financial difficulty. I know that. It's not possible to paint all the street lines and signs on, etc. It's not possible to immediately replace all the traffic signs, etc., and all the challenges that, all the cosmetic kind of things that you need to do in a town. I understand that. But when we are dealing with people's lives and people not having access to the most basic of services, where communication lines are not opened to people to try and understand why they are not paying for their services, then I'm very worried. When people don't have proper sanitation, when people don't have access to water, that is a human rights violation, and that makes me extremely concerned. Now, in 2016, I spoke to the mayor at the municipality that I used to work for. I had left that municipality for 5 years, and I met her at some event. And I said to her, Majoro, can I provide you just with some advice? You can take it, you don't have to take it, because this municipality is now facing serious challenges again. And I said to her, just focus on the following. For the next 2-3 years, just focus on the following: water, sanitation, refuse removal, the basic of services. But you have to also prioritize revenue, and you have to prioritize your accurate billing system, an accurate billing system. And your customer care, when it comes to accurate billing system, needs to be impeccable. You cannot kick the people who are paying their bills in the teeth. You cannot. You have to have people, a proper customer service, receiving these ratepayers, understanding what their challenges are, understanding why are they disputing their bills, correcting the bills. If you have happy and content ratepayers, you're not going to face these challenges. In the Northern Cape, similar challenges. I don't want to mention municipalities' names. I had a discussion with that municipality, and I said, but why are you not meeting with these complainants who are sitting outside now? Why don't you arrange a session with the community members just to explain your challenges, or what you are doing, and ask them to assist you wherever they can? Some of them were prepared to do these cosmetic things in town. A month later, they met. It's a cordial environment at that municipality. Take my advice. Don't see me fighting you. I'm not here to fight you. I'm fighting for that person. I'm fighting for all the people out there. I'm fighting for them. I'm not fighting you. Do what I've advised you to do, and you'll turn that municipality around. And be honest with the Human Rights Commission, be honest with the Public Protector, be honest with the Auditor General. We are there to assist. We are there to assist. We are not there to fight you. We are doing a lot. I'm not even going to speak to all the innovations that we are busy with at the moment. We are there to assist. If you need my assistance, and Mr. Mkhodi and the provincial manager, to speak to the ministers, to speak to Parliament, to speak to the legislature, the Premier, whoever, ask us, we'll help you. If there's any assistance that you require from a national department, from a provincial department, and you're not getting it, we are there to assist. We are not there to fight. But unfortunately, today was very, very unrewarding. Very unrewarding. I do not think that we received adequate information that we can give to the complainants. Don't think so. And that is why we are sending you back to do more homework. And please be honest in your responses to us. Please be honest. I'm very, very, as the provincial manager earlier said, very concerned about the initial responses and the blame shift that took place. I do think that a responsible municipal manager, when you task one of your subordinates to urgently respond to a letter sent by a constitutional body, you make follow-ups. You make follow-ups and you say, so-and-so, that letter that I sent you 2 weeks ago, how far are we? I don't want to be embarrassed. And what happened today is you've embarrassed yourself. These proceedings have been live streamed on YouTube. All right, that concludes our session today. We will await your yes, Pierre.
Commissioner, there's just one last issue to you. I'll request my colleagues, I'm not sure who's gonna go first, or Arabile and Nelson, to just introduce the issue. Perhaps we can be assisted to also just agree on a time frame when we can get a response to the other issue. Maybe just briefly, colleagues.
Which issue is that?
It's two service delivery monitoring reports that we sent to the municipality. Yeah, with our monitoring findings on service delivery. So we sent to them to provide us also time-bound plan for addressing the issues. As MM has rightly indicated, it's not these municipalities, it's not only just complaints from our service delivery monitoring, other communities are affected. So there are 2 reports that were sent to the MM, to which we also have not received a response. So if we can be assisted, maybe just briefly, Nelson.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good afternoon, MM. How are you, sir? If I may, the Human Rights Commission also, as per its constitutional mandate, conducts monitoring. So we have monitored a number of communities under the JP Max local municipality. The reports that PM is referring to, the initial report was sent on 28 February with a follow-up email being sent on 31 March. No responses were received. The recent report was sent, I believe, was sent just recently on 30 June. So these reports, as I've said, they relate to communities which fall under the JB Marks local municipalities. It's monitoring that was conducted in Wikotsom community, Khamukuba village in the Ventersdorp line, in extension 11 in Ventersdorp, in Ikacheng, in Klipdrift, Goedgevonden, and the village. As well as Velgevonden village. Through you, Commissioner, if I may, the MM earlier on in his opening address stated that JB Marks, the major town under JB Marks municipalities, it's Potchefstroom and Ventersdorp. And a number of villages that were monitored falling specifically under Ventersdorp. People have also told us of their dissatisfaction of the services that are received by the municipalities, to an extent that they feel like they are abandoned, to an extent that they feel that Potchefstroom is prioritized in comparison to Ventersdorp, especially the surrounding villages. Some of the notable issues that were picked up during the monitoring activity, I'll quickly jump into the issues that were observed. And if I may, the Commission notes that considerable work has been done in some of those villages, especially as far as provision of water is concerned and electricity. But of course, there are issues that we will pick up as we're engaging with community members. If I may, in the first village, in the first one in Wikotsom community, when you are approaching Ventersdorp, it's about 20 kilos away from Ventersdorp, coming from Rustenburg. The major issue there was the issue of electricity supply. We were informed of the electricity supply that is unreliable with frequent disruptions. Then when it comes to waste management, we were told that the municipality does not have a service or initiative that addresses a refuse collection. Instead, the residents are left to fend for themselves to make alternative. That's why you will get issues of illegal dumping. Then going to Khamukuba village, it was noted that the community still relies on pit toilets. And same when it comes to refuse collection, there is no service at all. And even on that village, people, they also resort to self-disposal methods. In Ching, okay, apologies, colleagues, I'm in number 9, page 9. In Ching, the issues observed over there, it relates to incomplete RDP houses.
Sorry, Nelson, I think you are referring to a different set. Can you please?
That's the correct one. Just that it's going to stop extension 11.
No, I'm saying the others do not have the sets that you are referring to, that you said is number 9 on. So that's why they cannot follow.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Apologies, Commissioner.
Even I think MM is lost. Yeah, MM. Number 9. Oh, another one. Do you have another one? Thank you.
Thank you so much, PM. Extension 11, Ventersdorp, issues that were observed, the issue of incomplete RDP houses. Several community members occupy incomplete RDP houses. Then there's the issue of dumping sites where they also have to resort to a self-disposal methods and the issue of unstable electricity supply.
All right, we are standing down. The MM is just taking a bathroom break. I don't think it will be long. Okay, we are reconvening. Subpoena hearing is reconvened. Welcome back, Emin. Just to remind you that you are still under oath, both of you. All right, you may proceed with some of the.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, MM. As I was finishing off, under the issues observed under extension 11 in Ventersdorp, I'm in page 10. The unstable electricity supply. Although electricity is available in some parts of the community, other sections remain unconnected. Then I will proceed to Ikaheng. The issues that were observed are as follows. On sanitation, the community lacks adequate sanitation facilities. There is an issue of water access whereby there is insufficient water and the water is unreliable. The issue of electricity supply on page 11. Electricity supply is unstable with frequent outages lasting up to 48 hours. Then when it comes to roads, the roads within the community are poorly maintained, limiting mobility and access to essential services. When we talk to communities, we are also mindful on the accessibility of roads as far as persons with disabilities are concerned, whether are the roads also user-friendly for them or not.
Yes. Can you check which part of it?
Do you have that information now, or do you still need to check?
I will.
Okay, no problem.
To confirm that.
Proceed, we can provide it to the MA.
Thank you, Chair. Then on Clip community, the community still relies on pit toilets. Bearing in mind that there is a typo on page 11, it says 21 November 2025, it's actually 21 November 2024. The community still relies on pit toilets. There is no municipal waste collection services. The presence of unlawful occupiers living on shack houses without access, to healthcare facilities. So those were some of the issues that we picked up. On site, the community members advised that they are being relocated to the other side where it's a bit structured. So we are not sure how far the process has gone. Then on 13 March, Goedgevonden village was monitored. They advised that they had an inconsistent supply of water, and the issue became better after the visit from the Deputy Minister of Water Affairs. That's when midnight water started coming off their taps after the intervention by the Deputy Minister of Water. Then electricity supplies, the electricity is generally stable, but several households have reported damaged electricity boxes and incidents of cable theft. Concerning the household that have damaged electricity boxes, they say yes, indeed, they have reported to the municipality. However, there has been no responses received as to the fixing of these boxes. On sanitation, it's the community uses pit toilets. The roads, if you go into Goedgevonden, you will note that the main road is tar or paved. Then the roads that go inward, specific houses, they are in bad condition with overgrown grass and so forth, with limited accessibility. The community members will tell you that the roads are not maintained at all. With regards to waste management, there is no refuse collection services in the community. Then I'll proceed to the village on page 13, road infrastructure. Same, while the main road leading to the village is started, all internal roads are traveled, and we advise that they have not been maintained for years. With regards to water, the village faces serious water supply challenges. Water is distributed intermittently and unpredictably, leaving residents without consistent access to clean water. Then the issue of emergency services. Emergency response times in the village are extremely poor, as we're informed by the community. They've also reported that they can wait up to 5 hours for ambulances or other emergency services, and there is no a municipal waste collection services that is provided. At Velgevonden village, the response of emergency service is fairly reliable, but there are specific concerns regarding ambulances which are often delayed. There is no refuse removal collection initiative or processes. The roads are gravel and are in poor condition. Access to water remains a major challenge, particularly for households situated on upper slope of the settlement. In my closing, to you, Commissioner, so as you will see, there are issues that we've picked where the service is working, and also we've picked up issues on the ground. So I would like to put that on record to say it's not all bad. There are certain portions where services are available and are working. Hence, in my opening, I said I will only focus on the issues that were observed. With that, I would like to close on that one and hand over to you, Chairperson, to the next speaker. Thank you.
All right, I think let us just, anyway, I just want to check with you. You earlier referred to a draft letter that you were working on or that you had to sign. The letter, does it refer to these complaints at all? Or is this news to you, new information?
If I may assist the process.
Yes.
I think they are on page 5, the matters that he is referring to.
Right.
Which I also wanted now to just introduce
Please proceed.
the record. When the office conducted monitoring on the 13th of March at Grootgewonde village, this is where we picked up these complaints as an office in our monitoring unit and we were sent to the protection unit. These complaints, there are 3, but because they are relating to the same communities, we put them into one letter and outlined them. The due date is still in future. It's coming on Sunday. It is Sunday, unfortunately. I checked. Well, for the purpose of it, you can send the correspondence. It's expected to be delivered latest by Monday, this coming Monday, which also relates to various service delivery complaints coming from water, electricity, and people. There are a lot. In fact, I think they are captured as well on paragraph 11 to a certain degree under Grootgewonde. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, colleagues. Perhaps to sum up what colleagues have said, Commissioner, I wish just that we didn't start with the mandate of the Commission, maybe for the purposes of the MM. That as a South African Human Rights Commission, MM, we have a threefold mandate. The first is to promote human rights and a culture of human rights. The second is to protect human rights. And the third is to monitor observance of human rights. And of course, with the subpoena is part of what we call our protection mandate, where we are investigating human rights and we use the subpoena as a tool to investigate. In terms then of monitoring, the 2 reports that have been presented by my colleague Nelson, what we normally do is when we go to the community, we do provide you with an opportunity to respond to our monitoring outcomes. This is where, through our promotion mandate, we try to resolve the issue amicably before referring them to Mr. Nkonde. You see how serious he is. So the monitoring, they are not complaints as yet. We are provided you with an opportunity. If they can be amicably resolved at this stage, then they will not be referred. But if then they are not resolved, then that's when we have to open complaints to formally investigate them. You will see in the reports we had requested that we receive written responses to each of the issues raised in the reports. The report of June, the response we are requesting it by 31 July. And the first report that was sent to you, I believe it was in February. Did we indicate? Oh, we don't have the February one. Okay, no, there is the February one. But I see the February one was not included in the pack. Okay, so there are 2 reports. There's the June one where we are requested a response by 31 July. There was one that we sent to you in February. In February as well, unless we've now consolidated all of them. We did consolidate. That means then the date is the 31st of July. If there are difficulties, for whatever challenges, we then request that you do communicate, instead of the silence, because as Commissioner has said, the reason we end up in a forum like this is because there's no response. But we have not ever persecuted an MM or any stakeholder who has genuine challenges to say, yes, I know you requested me to respond on the 31st, but I have an urgent pressing matter. Can I respond on the 5th? We do normally accommodate colleagues, so I just wanted to indicate that. Thank you, Commissioner. We'll just hand over to Rebecca. I think the last item now is just the communication protocol, so that they are just clarified for the record, so that MM tells us who exactly we should address future correspondence to, and if the address can also just be confirmed for record purposes. If there are other officials he has now designated to assist him, who are accountable to him, who must be copied, so that we ensure that our letters do get his attention. Thank you.
Yes, before we get to that, let us just be clear on these two documents with a number of observations and complaints and so on. When are we expecting feedback from the municipality? Also the 30?
There are two.
Yes.
The first report from the protection unit.
Yes.
Is on Monday, the 21st
Right.
of July, which is the on to
There's the code.
yes, that place. 20. Yes. Yes.
That was the G.
Who have on there? Yes.
I think it's page 5 of the bigger
5.
document.
There is still complaints. The response is expected on Monday.
Yeah.
And then the second one, which is the
31st.
monitoring, is the 31st.
Okay. Is that acceptable, Emma? The 21st for the first document? Goed gevonden, yeah. Just to assist the PM there. No, you must tell us. If it's not possible, we are not, impossible to deal with.
It's page 5. Yes, first but you said you consolidated them.
It's in one page.
Let's try to receive
Is it possible?
And it's the one we were reading out. It's the one that I was reading out.
The one that where you said.
Oh.
It's
It's ready. All right. So the 21st and then the other one on the 31st of July, just for clarity purposes.
That's the monitoring.
Yeah. It's a lengthy document. Will it be possible, because you also have other complaints to work on?
It starts from page 6 of the, just after the first, yes, from page 6 to page 18. That's the monitoring report.
If it's not possible, you must tell us. If we must give you a week or 2 weeks extension.
Now we'll push and communicate.
All right. So we keep it as such, the 21st and the 31st. If there's any challenge in providing us with the response, please don't hesitate to liaise with Mr. Godley and or the provincial manager. All right, then the request was from the PM that you just provide us with the contact details of the relevant people we're supposed to send our letters, correspondence, etc. to. So if you can just read it out or write it down for us, please.
So I think I've.
No, I just wanted, maybe before the MM wraps up, I just wanted to confirm the date of the 31st of July is just for responses. Am I correct? Because with regard to addressing the issues that are on the document, there's issues of jurisdictions, especially on the villages. There's other villages that are under ESCOM license area of supply, especially with regard to the electricity. So we'll be relying now on ESCOM to attend to the issues. It won't be on our side. So I just wanted confirmation on the date of the 31st. Is it the date for us to just send responses to the commission, or the date of also addressing the issues?
No, we want responses by the 31st. And remember also that by the 25th of July, we need you to provide us with responses on the complaints that we discussed during the subpoena hearing earlier today. That's the 21st. So it's 21st,
the 25th and the 31st to provide us with comprehensive responses. And if there's a challenge with the 31st, again, don't hesitate to inform the office. All right, Ian, I'm in your hands.
Yes.
Are we done?
We are done, but I just wanted to emphasize the nature of the responses on page 18. To say where you admit that there are issues, you have to give us a time-bound plan for addressing. So yeah, so just to note the nature of the response that is required. But of course, where it is disputed, you say it's not your mandate, you can indicate. But where you say you admit the issues, then we need a plan for how you're gonna address the issues.
Okay. All right, lady and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this subpoena hearing.
The communication, you are
Oh!
say something.
Okay, thank you. I think I've made a pronouncement earlier that I will be directly handling the matters. So that we don't have, almost half the session interrogating who did what, who didn't do what. I'll be personally handling these matters since I'm personally held accountable. So I see in most of communication, you're missing the K at the end. So it's Kumbe K. It's like kumbek@gmail.com, kumbek@jbmarks.gov.za. And you can include Mr. Madisha and MM Secretary, but just these first two email addresses, then I wouldn't have to say I relied on who I hoped and thought who would have done what. I'll have to see them myself and attend to them myself. So it's kumbek@jbmarks.gov.za, kumbek@gmail.com, and mmsecretary@jbmarks.gov.za, and the normal one that you've been communicating with Mr. Madisha on. Thank you.
Thank you, MM, for the information. Anything else? We're done.
There is tea in the next room, so that when you make your way to the beautiful you are warm. Well, there are fruits as well.
All right. Thank you so much for your attendance, and drive safely back home. This session is then adjourned and you are released. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.